Am I the meanest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the prettiest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Pawn's drunk.
Well, who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
Who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
I can't hear you.
Pawn's drunk. AKA Mr. Won't shine himself.
Of Harlem.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Y'all already know this is Punch Run Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Shine himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, el Sazón, el Borracho, el Pastor de Boxeo. Dímelo, mi gente. Good Sunday, good Sunday. Had an event last night. Had an event out there across the pond. Shout out to all the modern day warriors, modern day gladiators. They put their life on the line for pure entertainment. Shout out to the modern day warriors, modern day gladiators. They put their life on the line for pure entertainment. Been saying that slogan for since the beginning of Punch Run Boxing, to preserve the sport of boxing, to preserve the modern day warriors, modern day gladiators. You ain't never heard it. You ain't never heard nobody talk like that. Not in this YTBC, not in YouTube boxing community, not in Twitter. Not in Facebook. Nobody says for the modern day warriors, modern day gladiators, they put their life on the line for pure entertainment. Preserve the sport of boxing. Preserve the fighters. No. Only your boy, Mr. Moonshine. Haters, and supporters will vouch for it. What's good, man? So, shout out to the winners. Those that unfortunately took L's, things of that nature. We're going to be talking about some serious ish now. Again, I break things down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. And just because I say unbiasedly, logically, and objectively, does it mean that I'm right? No. Does it mean that I'm wrong? No. But I'm always open for a better understanding. Always hoping for that. Always open for it. So I'm not saying I'm right. I ain't saying I'm wrong. I'm only going to give you the logic that I feel like I feel it's logical to say what I'm saying. What's good, everybody in the chat? What's good? Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, let me tell you what I've been telling y'all since I brought up his name. Ben Whittaker. From the UK, aka the Cassius Clay of the UK, aka it's like Prince Nassim and Muhammad Ali had a baby. Pause. Beautiful performance, professional debut. Ben Whittaker from the UK, London. Whoa! I'm telling y'all, folks. I'm telling you about the future cash cow of the sport of boxing. Not only in the UK. Yeah, there's gonna be people out there, yo, Punch. Yeah. You always trying to premature. You always hyping these dudes up. What happened to Josh Kelly? What happened to Edgar Berlanga? At the end of the day, man, I'd rather hype him up than just be like a bitter. Just let me see what he gonna do. Yeah, they say he nice. Let me see. Let me see when they move him up in for the 6th rounders or 8th rounders or 10 rounders. Let me see how he does with better competition. Let me see how he does better with champions. Like that's the boxing fans. We're not content. We always let's see, like a bunch of haters. Well, let's see. If you're knocking everybody out in the beginning, let's see how he go extra round when somebody's not there getting knocked out. Like if he ain't doing a knockout. And then he go extra round, and then he knock him out. See, he struggled a little bit. If you get chin checked, oh, you see, his defense and all that, he got exposed. The boxing fan is funny, man. Collectively. Shout out to everybody in the chat. The UK, Linda, what's good? Packers Gamer in the building. Mighty Max Boxing in the building. Yes, sir. Everybody tune in to Mighty Max Boxing later on, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Gonna be chopping it up. Me and your boy, Mighty Max Boxing. Subscribe to the channel right now, man. 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Ooh, Danny versus Tony Harrison. Make it happen. Shit, that's a good fight. I mean, look, the 154-pound division is is a very intriguing division. That's like watching the NFL. You really know who you don't know who really gonna win. You know what I'm saying? But you already know who the king in 154, Jermell Charlo, going to be fighting Tim Zhu probably early next year, defending his undisputed crown. Man, if you, ain't nobody in the respective division, ain't nobody time and time again competing like Jermell Charlo, and they still and they don't put him on the paper list. Jermell Charlo doing what the fans been desperate for fighters to do. And about to fight look. He fought it was the 1 and 2, right? The champions for undisputed. He's fought Tony Harrison. He avenged his loss, right? Fought the likes of Charles Hadley. Fought the likes of Jason Rosario, who beat J Rock. Fought the likes of Trout. You know what I'm saying? This guy's been fighting Erickson Lubin. So this guy's been fighting prime, young up and coming like Erickson Lubin. Tim Zhu, going to fight Tim Zhu. This guy is doing his thing. He's doing his thing. We're going to be talking about Danny Swift Garcia in just a bit as well. We're going to be talking about his performance in his debut in 154. We're always going to be also talking about his post-fight interview in which he was emotional, talking about his mental illness before, leading up to the fight. In the week that he was off, depression, anxiety. We're going to be talking about that because there's certain fighters that has been talking about their mental estate. A lot of fans make fun when Ryan Garcia came out with it. A lot of people's making fun of Ryan Garcia, calling him that he's scared, pussy, all that, everything. Everything in the book. Everything in the book. Linda, good looking now. Thanks for the consistency, good content. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you. UK. Appreciate you. God bless. I was watching that fight. I didn't even do and I apologize for not doing if y'all was expecting me to do the live commentary to that fight. I actually, man, I was watching that in a restaurant, man. I had a good time. People wanted to bet me. Yo, for the first time, and it might be the only time, somebody betted me. He said he was going for Jose Benavidez, and he said, I bet you $40. No, I said, I bet you $20 he's going to win. And then the knockout was $40. I said, is somebody knocking out Danny Swift Garcia? I'm betting that. I'm sorry. I don't bet on boxing. That's the first time and last time I will bet. The thing he was like kind of twisted. And he was like, bet me, man. Come on, bet me. We watching the fight. Bet me. Come on. Oh, y'all, everybody here boring. Come on, man. I'm Jose Benavidez gonna be Danny Swift Garcia. Hey, yo, bet me. You want to bet me, son? You want to bet me? So he's putting that pressure up. He said 20 and said he gonna get knocked out. I said Danny Swift Garcia, grenade chin, Danny Swift Garcia, that never been floored. That this guy's gonna knock him out. I gotta take that bet, man. Come on, I gotta take that bet. And the funny thing is, after the bet, I won, and then I bought him a drink. So it's like, hey, it's like take your money back. Be cool. It was cool last night. It just reminded me of when I used to go to these boxing parties. You know what I'm saying? Since I do the punch drunk boxing thing and go live most of the time in great fights. Man, I've abandoned my boxing friends that used to like watching these big fights. You know what I'm saying? Having a party. You know what I'm saying? Having a boxing party. I missed them, and I've done that shit for years. So it was good. I said that interview was emotional for real. That come from the heart. We're gonna be talking about that. Yeah, Danny Medina, dime mi hermano Jason, Danny Medina, one of the members. If you want to become a member to Punch Drunk Boxing, you already know, man. Join to become a member. Support the channel. Support the movement. Talking advantage and intoxicating the man. Well, hey. He was pressuring me, man. What happened? He said, put the 20. Like 20. I said, okay, all right, okay. I bet you. Calm down. I think I bet him so he could calm down, to be honest. I think I bet him because it's for him to calm down. But anyway, man, mental illness been talked about, right? We had this discussion a while ago, and I remember with Ryan Garcia, and I said that mental illness, if you have mental illness, I said it's a weakness. Now people be like, "Hey, yo, Punch Drunk, you can't be saying that that's a weakness." I'm not saying. I never said that is a derogatory term for me. I'm not saying because you suffer from mental illness that you're bad and then you're soft and nothing like that. No. It's just like mental for me. How I see it. Mental illness. And if you're ill, if you're sick, you're ill. What happens if you're sick? If you have fever and you're ill, do you feel weak? Yes or no? Huh? Am I gonna say, oh, you sick and you feel weak? Oh, come on, man. Oh, come on, get up from that. Come on, you only got what's your fever? 104? That's nothing, man. Come on, man. I've been in hotter weather. Huh? Imagine if it's some dude in Arizona. You got 104 fever, man. I'm standing outside in 100 and 120 degrees, and you talking about fever? Nah. Just because I said that time mental illness that is weak. No, I mean that you in a weak state at the moment that you are right now. You're weak at the moment. That doesn't mean that you're a not a strong person. I'm talking about a weak that right now at that moment you're feeling weak. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't say anything derogatory, but that's the way that I express myself, and that's the thing that I believe at the moment. Just like if you have fever, just like if you twist your ankle and you feeling ill. If you ill, you feel weak. Your ankles, you can't play. You feel me? Now, Danny. So now I'm gonna tell you like this. I said this the other day when I was doing the live. I said that the boxing fans are geared, paid, entertained to see another human destroy another human. We pay and we're excited to see another human strip the health from another human. This is why we watch the sport. This is why we excited. This what excites us. Another human stripping the health of another human. So you could in this boxing community, when you hear mental illness, when you hear somebody is injured, the fans don't give a damn. That's unfortunate. That's why I had it on my thumbnail. It's unfortunate that the boxing in general thinks like that. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And this is why my last live show, while Teofimo Lopez was explaining in his recent interview, I'm like, you don't got to explain nothing to the boxing fan, because the boxing fan are geared a different way than the normal fan outside of the sport of boxing. See, Danny Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, Adrian Broner. Remember Adrian Broner? We see look at what Adrian Broner. They be showing pictures, AG butt naked in the bathroom and stuff like that, in the hospital, whatever. I call this when he's going through ish. And what do people do in the sport of boxing? They make fun of him. Oh, look, he's washed up. Oh man, please get a life. You're always saying the same thing. Blah 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 blah. Ain't nobody really trying to consider what the man is really going through. Yet we understand the sacrifices of this sport. We understand the sacrifices of this sport. The boxing fans don't give a damn the physical or the mental health of the boxers. And I think that maybe if you're a hardcore boxing fan, I'm just saying, you can like whatever you want to like. You will understand whatever you want to understand. You can be entertained whatever you want to be entertained by. All I'm saying, if you're a hardcore boxing fan and you respect the modern day warriors, modern day gladiators, can you at least understand the fighter? Just at least, if you're a hardcore boxer, I don't think that that's too much to ask. Just understand the modern day warriors, modern day gladiators that put their life on the line for pure entertainment. So when Danny Garcia in his post-fight interview would look like, man, I've been holding it in and paraphrasing, and he came out and said what he was going through. It was emotional. You know? At one point, does people in the boxing community going to be like, you know what, man? Let's really, really understand what these fighters really go through. Let's really unpack what these fighters really go through. We love the sport. We love fighters. Ladies and gentlemen, the YTBC, we talk about these fighters every goddamn day. Even if there's no even fights, we talk about it every day. If I'm not going live, there's somebody else that's live right now. There's somebody going to be live next hour. In the next hour, 24/7. You're always going to find somebody with a boxing content talking about boxing or going live stream or something, because we love the sport. So if we love the sport, can we give it time also to understand these fighters? Or are you just as barbaric as what happens in the ring? If a fighter say, hey, yo, I got injured my hand. Oh, he's scared. No, motherfucker, his hand is injured. He punches skull for a living. Can you understand that? Or do you want him to go fight? Oh, he's sick. He got the COVID. He ain't got the COVID. He ain't sick. But I bet you be calling sick out your motherfucking job too. How about if your employee tell you, nah, you ain't lying, man. Get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. You fired. Nah, boss. I'm sick, man. Give me the doctor's note. Let me see what doctor. You're bringing the same ass doctor though. That was your wife that wrote that shit. And I'm gonna give you some examples. I'm gonna give you some examples of certain fighters. How many times do we hear? Look at this. How many times do we hear? Oh, yo, Floyd Mayweather got Brillo hands. Floyd Mayweather got his pillow fisted now. Right? How many times in this community? How many times in boxing with boxing pugilists, independent media, YouTube hosts, all that when they talk about and fans, people in the chat, people in the panel when they talk about Floyd Mayweather, everybody talk about his hands. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, he was a pretty boy, and now you know what I'm saying? He got Brillo hands, he got pillow fisted, and people make fun of it, right? Oh, he ain't knocking nobody out, blah 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 blah. He got so. How many times people hear that? Now, let me ask you, now, we all know we heard that a lot of times. Now, let me ask you a question. When did Floyd Mayweather start fighting? When did Floyd Mayweather start boxing? We all go boxing fans. We could put it on the chat right quick. Help me out. I only need one person to answer. Because I respect y'all. What's good? When did Floyd Mayweather start boxing? When did Floyd Mayweather really, when he started boxing? When did his father introduce him to boxing? So don't you think, as a boxing fan, if you want to understand the sport of boxing, when people be like, oh, his hand is brittle, don't you think that his hands won't be taking a beating for 30 plus years of punching faces, punching bags? You don't think that his hand is going to suffer? Why you see basketball players, even when they retire, they be like this? Oh my God, they walk with a limp. Everyone's walk with a limp. Lower back, knees cracking, ankle cracking, elbow cracking. Everybody walking like that. All these athletes walking after, you know what I'm saying, after a certain age, they walking like if they 80 years old. The wear and tear. Now, as a sport fan, do you understand wear and tear? Exactly. Ortega. So, is it that Floyd Mayweather was weak, or his hands was weak, or no, he beat them hands up tirelessly to be fucking great? And he was great enough to adjust to his hands that he beat up for 30 plus years. Are you a fan that understands that? Or are you a fan that's going to be like, look at his hands. He can't knock out nobody. He's pillow fisted. Or did he work tirelessly? 3 fucking days, three a days to be great? Demon, who's supposed to understand the fighter's health? Oh, there's gonna be people. I don't give a damn. I only pay for the fight. I only pay to watch them fight. That's all I care about. Then you're not a fucking hardcore. To me, you're not. To me, you're not. Everybody like to use that loosely, and then other people like to shame casuals and shit like that. How about when Keith Thurman, Earl Spence? Let's talk about that example. I'm gonna give a lot of examples right now. I'm not going nowhere, no time soon, or maybe soon, depending how I feel. Yeah, I remember. Keith Thurman, after the Danny Swift Garcia fight, you know what I'm saying, had the hand, but Earl Spence, what about Earl Spence, Keith? What about Earl? He had surgery right after. He had surgery the same month that Kell Brook fought Earl Spence. Showed the hand, showed surgery, but people say, are you scared, Keith? Hey, I just had surgery. But the elbow. You scared, though. He's scared. He's ducking. Then Earl spins shaming him, so knowing that, he can't fight him. He's scared. He's scared. It's like you asking a blind man to drive and then telling the blind man, what happened? What happened? You can't drive? What happened? You can't drive? Come on, man. Just put your hands on the wheel. You scared, man. You scared to drive. Like telling Ray Charles, you scared to drive. Motherfucker, I can't. I can't right now. Stupid. Jay, people think that fighters are machines or robots. That's what a lot of people believe. A lot of people believe. Out of all the athletes in the world, the most disrespected athletes is actually the athletes that risk it more. The more disrespected athlete in the world are the athletes that risk it more. I'm fucking figure skating. They're just fucking skating in the ice. Football play, yeah, there's some consequence to it, but it is not meant for you to really go after the head, even though you might hit the head, but that's why they flag it. Not in boxing. They don't flag you for hitting or knocking them out cold. They don't flag you. Oh, Ryan Garcia. Oh, he's scared. He pulled out because of mental illness. My mind ain't right. Oh, so you want the kid in the ring when his mind is not right? Because you want to see the fight. You want somebody in the ring that their mind ain't right. Is not fit to fight. Is not fit to go to a war. Now, let me ask you this. How about if a soldier's going, hey, yo, this guy mind ain't right, but it's time for him to save your family. And you looking at him like, yo, you the person that's going to save us? Your mind ain't right. I don't think you're capable of doing it, son. I don't think you're capable of doing it. Please get me somebody that their mind is right. Yeah, people going to be like, yo, Punch, you always trying to go at the fans or something like that. You always trying to go at the fans. I'm not going at the fans. I'm trying to understand why the fans of boxing think a certain way if they're fans of boxing. I don't know. I hear all the time, fighters is injured. Most of them have to fight with those injuries. Some of them need to pull out because the injury is too bad. They can't go to war. But the fans is like, you scared. Ryan Garcia also had hand surgery. He's scared. ¿Scared de qué? Estúpido. ¿Scared de qué? A guy like Ryan Garcia, how many national titles that Ryan Garcia got? Ryan Garcia amateur record is what? 2-something? What is it? Like 2-something, 10 losses? 210 losses? Then we hear about fighters also, and I know they got to go with. We're gonna go back to the mental and the physical health of a fighter, but also what I've been hearing is when people like to put on, when people like to express how when a fighter's going for their money, and the fans is like, "Come on, man, you ain't worth that. You ain't worth that. You ain't worth that." I don't like that. I don't like when fans be like, oh, yo, you ain't worth that. What the fuck you mean they ain't worth that? Who you to tell them what they worth? Who you? And I also want to explain the people here. I'm going at the hypocrisy and the contradiction of this community and the boxing fans. I don't give a damn if I gotta be the one to tell you the truth about who the people you support or hate. I'm gonna tell you how it is. Leading up to the Showtime card yesterday. I know I'm going all over the place. I just had this shit on my mind, bro. And I don't want to forget about saying it. Y'all can help me wheel me back into the other conversation. I just got to say a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because even frustration talking to other boxing people, it's getting to the point where I'm not even trying to check shit no more. Because I don't get it. So there was a lot of people in the boxing community, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, a lot of credible opinions. A lot of credible opinions and people that have good channels too. Well, I'm not going to say good channels. I'm going to say highly supported channels, highly trafficked channels, talking down on this event. Daniel Garcia and Jose Benavidez Jr. Guys like Rick Glazier that's supposed to work in the business of boxing. Hold on. And Rick Glazier, who we've chopped it up before on Twitter, I want you to come to Punch Drunk Boxing this because I think too many people are being too nice. It's time for you to answer some questions and really know what you're about. Rick Glazier, we chopped it up before, but to be honest, I am highly sick of the shit that you be saying. So hold on. I want to read this tweet so you can understand what I'm trying to say. I want to read this tweet. Let me see if where he at. Okay. This is supposed to be a boxing guy that is a boxing insider that works in the sport of boxing. Now, see, Punch Drunk Boxing, I say, I'm here. I created the channel to preserve the modern day warriors, modern day gladiator. I didn't do this channel to preserve your feelings. I didn't do this channel to preserve the fans of boxing. That's not the channel. I love it that people support. There's people that hate, but I didn't create the channel for me. I created the channel to preserve the sport of boxing, to preserve the modern day warriors, modern day gladiators that put their life on the line for pure entertainment. Damn it, I say it all the motherfucking time. This guy says, leading up to the fight, and a lot of people feel like this, but not in his words, but I heard channels and I hear people on the panel and I hear people and I read the Twitter feed and everything. He says, Showtime Boxing tonight is a sad comedy. It's a host of shot guys that shouldn't be fighting any longer. And fighters no one wants to see. One fighter, Gary Antoine Russell, is misplaced. He's good TV. Other than Russell, this show is garbage. Watch only if you have nothing else to do. Now, that's the problem. That is an issue with people like him in boxing. Supposed to have some type of credible opinion. A credible opinion saying that Daniel Garcia should not even be fighting any longer. That Jose Benavidez shouldn't be fighting any longer. That these men should not take care of their family any longer. They should not take care of their family the way they know how to do, the way that they're groomed to take care of their family and make a living. No, because you don't like it, then nobody else should watch it. Yeah, you motherfucker benefit from the fucking fighters. You heard Rick Glazier? You piece of shit. You make a living off these blood, sweat, and tears fighters. You piece of human garbage. You are the garbage one. I want Rick Glazier right here. Where the fuck you at? Come, Rick Glazier. You send him a message. I want him to punch on back so I can smoke the shit out this man. Don't you ever call nobody garbage, you piece of human garbage. These are modern day warriors, modern day gladiator. Who the fuck are you? And you that wants to make money out of these blood, sweat, and tears and you want to call them garbage. Fuck you, bitch. Get the fuck out of my motherfucking sport. And there's people that support motherfuckers like that. If you think all these people is garbage, shouldn't make a living, get the fuck out the sport. Pay attention to something else. Váyase para la mierda. Go watch figure skating. Go watch volleyball. Go watch baseball. Go watch basketball. Go watch something. Get the fuck out of my sport. Get out. You motherfucking YouTube channels as well that talk shit. PBC fighters and PBC, you know what I'm saying? They make bad shows and all these channels always talking shit about fighters and the promotional company that put these fights and the networks. But yeah, your ass go live. You go live to benefit from these fighters. And you motherfuckers support that shit. I am flaming each and everybody that feels that way. You go into these channels. You go into the Twitter account. And y'all talk shit about the fighters each and every day. But then when their fight comes along, you tell everybody, even your own subscribers, you tell them, this fight is no good. This event is shitty. Daniel Garcia is a nobody. He's a has-been. This guy, Jose Benavidez, the only highlight of his career was losing to Terrence Bud Crawford. Why this fight? Why this event? Showtime ain't shit. Network ain't shit. Al Heyman is shit. Everybody is shit. But when it's time, Saturday night comes, you put that stream up because you want your super chats. You put that stream up because you want money. You want donations. But yet, you devalue the fighter and the event that you go live streaming about. Why you do it then, you piece of shit, you pussies? Anybody that disagree with me, any channel right now, come over here right now. Come over here right now so I can smoke your ass. No, when I'm like this, they don't have the fucking balls to talk to me. Not in here or not in person, because I smack fire out your asses. Why step back from this community? Because this community is straight up fake. I thought this was about hardcore. I thought this was about preserving. I thought this was about the modern day warrior, modern day gladiator. Who could understand the fighters more than the hardcore boxing fans? But I understand that even the boxing fans are the most delusional and most unappreciative fans of all the sports, knowing that they take the highest risk. The highest risk of any athlete ever. You're not in the hospital. You don't put no ice pack. You don't wipe a nosebleed. You don't check the gray areas in their brain even before they become professional. But you have the heart to talk shit. You have the heart. You have the audacity to downplay an event. But then, to satisfy your pockets, you go live. Now you want to go live. Daniel Garcia, Jose Benavidez. Oh, you want to go live now. Everybody that shitted on the fight. Everybody that shits on PBC. Everybody that shits on Top Rank. Everybody that shits on Eddie Hearn in the Zone. Everybody that shits on Oscar de la Hoya. Everybody want to shit on it. But here comes an event. And everybody want to capitalize off the garbage fighters. Of the fighter that should not be in the ring any longer, but you stay up to 1 a.m., 12 a.m., do your videos, do your live stream, but then you talk shit about these motherfuckers and devalue it. And then after that, numbers come out, pay-per-view numbers come out, viewership come out, and the shit is low, and then you're like, you look at the views, who's watching it? Motherfuckers be like this, counting seats. Look at Barclays Center. Ooh, let me see how many seats is empty. Ooh. You see, boxing. I told you this was a good event. Look how many people was there. You know what I'm saying? To downplay and discredit and devalue. But yeah, you go live. It's you don't see the fuckery, guys. Making fun of fighters, entertainment. Okay, I'm gonna look at whatever y'all want to do. Do it. Do it. This fight is all day. Go ahead. But don't forget. Don't you forget, you pieces of human garbage. Why you capitalizing. Don't ever forget why you create a channel. Don't ever forget every time a super chat or a donation or a like comes about. It's because you talking about the guys and the gals that actually risk their life for you to talk about what you talk about. I notice in this community it's not about boxing. Why is that? The talking down on fighters, talking down on the sport, talking down on the promoters, talking about everybody has become the best topic now. People talk about, oh, look at this troll and look at this troll. Everybody in boxing is a troll. Everybody. That's it. That's all the business of boxing. Don't give a damn about the hardcore boxing fan. Because the hardcore boxing fans is Bellevue patience for them. Name me the channel to come over here and prove me wrong. Tell me why you do this shit. Tell me why you created the channel. Huh? Tell me who you benefit from. Who do you benefit from? Inside of my ass. Inside of my ass. He says inside of my ass. I said insider. Boxing insider. Smash the like button, man. Dr. Professor Insider. My pause. Deacon boxing enthusiast. Ain't no fucking boxing enthusiast. I understand this. I understand there's fans that only care about the fight. I understand that. I understand there's fights that you may not like. Before I created the channel, I said, you know what? Before I started really doing this punch drunk boxing stuff, I really got to understand the business of boxing. You know what I'm saying? I got to understand it. Not necessarily know every information, but you got to understand it. You don't got to like it. You don't got to agree with it. I got to understand it. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to understand that this is a career. Y'all got to understand this shit is a career. The best fight in the best. I just want to see the best fight in the best. Motherfucker, you just trying to say that you want to see one or two fights and you think that the career's over? I want to see the best fight in the best, but I also understand that this is a career. So when you fighting your fourth rounders, right? You fighting your a boxer. Matter of fact, let me stop. Let me stop right there because I got to go just a little behind. A little behind. People like to talk about, and I'm gonna give you an example of just a matchup: Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Oh, these people's only thinking about the money. Oh, these people's thinking about the money. All these people's thinking about the money. I know that you and I probably work, 80% of us, 90% of us work for the money to pay the bills, right? Correct? Maybe some of y'all are business owners, but you still do it because you need to pay the bills, feed your family, survive. This is why I have a problem that likes why I have a problem of people trying to put value in a fighter. Talk about how much they should get. Talking about how much they shouldn't get. Devaluing them to the point where you, as a hardcore boxing fan, host, analyst, independent media, have a problem. Gervonta Tank Davis had almost 250 amateur bouts. Let me give you an example. 250 amateur bouts. A lot of people say, hey, yo, even when I hear him talk, now I could be wrong. I'm not no doctor, but Does Gervonta Tank Davis to you sound a little bit punchy? To me, he sounds a little bit punchy. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that he is. I'm just saying that he sounds a little bit punchy from when I've heard him speak in an interview when he was real young to now. To me, he sounds like a little punchy, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And this is to be, and this is no disrespecting Tank, because I'm gonna tell you like this. I know fighters that are already having brain damage that you don't know. And guess what? They still get passed through the physical so they could fight. So what I'm saying is, when I'm saying punchy, I'm talking serious shit right now. So when I'm saying Gervonta Tank Davis, and this is just Gervonta Tank Davis, is a lot of fighters that we love, that we respect. Gervonta Tank Davis fought over 200, 232, or 200, let's say 250, right? Because that's just reported. I've heard before that he's close to almost 300 amateur bouts, but reported, let's say almost 250, right? Christian said, I suffer from concussion to this day from 5 years ago. Look at that, man. Hope, man. Every day gets easier. Hope, man. Pray for you, my brother. So let's say 250 amateur bouts plus the sparrings. Look at this. Plus the sparrings. How much did Gervonta Tank Davis get paid? How much did Gervonta Tank Davis get paid for 250 plus amateur bouts? How many? How much? Chick in the building. What's good, brother? Show you getting knocked around all your life. You've been punchy too. Yep. Facts. You bring up a good point. What Danny is going through is probably what some boxers go through. Yep. Thanks, Danny Garcia, for shedding light to the real problem. I tell you who worries me fighting right now is Kawanaki. Keith Trimble, his trainer, is a friend too. Oh. How much? Alma, dímelo, Alma. How you doing? How much did Gervonta Tank Davis get paid in the amateurs? Talk to me. How much? How much did Ryan Garcia get paid for his 200 plus amateur fights? How much did Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney 6 times? 6 times. How much did they get paid? What was their purse? When they fought 6 times, what was the purse of Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney? Good looking out. 0. So these fighters that y'all call pussy, that y'all call scared, that y'all call fear, that y'all call, oh, you pulled out of a fight to negotiate a deal, your deal. Oh, you only worry about money. You only worry about money. You only worry about money. These fighters that are getting paid now already put in the work for free. They put in the work for free. Gervonta Tank Davis already put in the work for free. Ryan Garcia already put in the work for free. Call him YouTube, IG sensation. Toma ahí pa' ustedes. Eso es mentira. That kid put in the work. Devin Haney put in the work. Teofimo Lopez put in the work. Keyshawn Davis put in the work. Floyd Mayweather put in the work. Roy Jones put in the work. Andre Ward put in the work. Lomachenko put in the work. All these guys, a bunch of people that people like to criticize, put in that work for free. For free. My boy Henry Cedeno Martinez put in that work. His brother put in that work. Kid Schofield put in that work. Danny Garcia started his career at 10, put in that work, started boxing at 7. Keith Thurman started boxing at 7, put in that work. Oh, these guys care about the money. Motherfucker, they was fighting for free. Risking their lives for free. And then, especially now, these young fighters that's coming up right now from the amateurs, they fighting without headgear. They fighting without headgear for free because they do it to get a promotional contract. And then when they become professionals, you know how much is their check? 700, 800, 1,000. You think the trainer works for free too? You think the trainer works for free? $1,000 and get 10% from your fighter. How much is that? And then some of these fighters, they get the little skimpy checks throughout the year. Some of them, you got to pay taxes. Ni tienen el dinero to pay taxes. You think and especially American fighters, because outside you see like Lomachenko, he gets sponsored. You know what I'm saying? So they get some sponsor money out there. But in America, they're not sponsoring no boxing like that. Those were back in the day. They don't do that shit no more over here. So these guys that we see today been fighting for free, 200 plus fights, plus sparring. There's more, look, there's fighters and professional fighters and elite fighters, legendary fighters. Look what Roy Jones Jr. said. He said, before he was getting knocked out, he said, I get hurt more in sparring than the real fights. These guys risk their life to prepare for a fight. See, a basketball player, he's running some drills. That's his practice. My practice is fighting so I could fight a 36 minutes to prepare for 36 minutes. I'll give you an example. Teofimo Lopez is in training camp right now. Right now, he's sparring with guys that is 180 pounds. This week, probably he's going to be fighting lighter guys. But let's say he's fighting right now heavy fighters right now. 180, 190. The guy that he's sparring right now is almost 190 pounds. Rip Bill Russell. Yes. Rip to the legend. The best champion that ever lived. Fighting 4 rounds, then skip to the next guy to step inside the ring. 4 rounds with that one, then 4 rounds. 3 fighters and sparring most of the time. So this guy's risking his life to prepare to risk his life. Right of the storm. Gracias, mi hermano. One of the members. What's good? Right of the storm, man. You having a good weekend, man? Having a good weekend? Hope you're having a great weekend, brother. And everybody in the chat as well. Yeah, shout out to Bill Russell and his family, man. Condolences. What I'm saying, man, look, I'm saying this. It's not. I don't think it's an issue for us not to understand the fighters. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like it shouldn't be an issue, man. You don't gotta like the fighter. You don't gotta be a fan of the fighter. But if let's say Virgil Ortiz, he pulled out of a fight because he was sick. Why as a fan I'm gonna be like, Man, motherfucker sick, man. What kind of disingenuous people we are, bro? Like, why we have that mindset? Like, what is making us to think? And I feel like the society is becoming like that. It's becoming like it's robotic. Like, these fighters now, you supposed to be fighting, bro. Fuck if you sick. Earl Spence got a retainer, had an eye surgery. You scared of Manny Pacquiao? Show us the paperwork. Show us the paperwork. You ain't really had surgery. Why you pulled out of a fight? What do we get from that, though? What's good, Oshima? Thank you. Appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. God bless. Saludos, Catherine. Saludos. And I know why I know why other channels does it. You know what I'm saying? Because they get support to degrade and disrespect fighters, and people laugh and people love it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I've done this video saying that the Haney is boring. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney's boring, but I'll never say that Devin Haney got no skills. I'll never say that Devin Haney is not a undisputed champion. I'm not gonna say that Devin Haney. I'm gonna say that Devin Haney got the best jab in the lightweight division, got the skills to win. He got the winning skill set, but the way he approached it with that skill was boring. That's just me as a fan. And then people know me and the Haneys go back and forth anyway. But no ill will to the Haneys. Again, I feel like his father doing a wonderful job. I feel like he's one of the best managers. That he's a trailblazer. Devin Haney is 23 years old, gonna be 24, and he got the straps. However, people feel like undisputed the week. Nah, he got the straps. He got the straps. Now, it is what it is. So, Danny Garcia in his post-fight interview was talking about his anxiety and depression and saying how hard it is as a boxer. He said that the only thing that he knows how to do is how to get over what he's going through is fighting. Now, I'm going to voice my opinion on the certain fighters that are saying almost the same thing. Now, fighters, understand that your career is short. We understand fighters, some of y'all start at a very, very young age. At a very, very young age. And as a fighter, it's a very dangerous sport. You got to see tunnel vision. You can't care about anything else like that. You know what I'm saying? But you also have to prepare life after boxing and fighting. And I think that's very, very hard for a human to be molded and built as a fighter. The way that he feeds his family is to fight. If he doesn't fight, since they've been molded as a very, very young age to fight and do nothing else, that's the only way. That's their safe haven. That's their safe haven in terms of probably happiness, comfortability, and earning. So promoters and networks, y'all got to understand the fighters even more. If Danny Silva Garcia is saying, I need to fight, I'm a fighter, and the way that he said it, when he said it, that got me emotional right there. When is how he said, I'm a fighter. It's almost like saying, that's what I know. I can't be fighting just once a year like that. Even I have but I can't. This is what I gotta do. Adrian Broner, that fight, the post-fight interview when he was saying to Showtime, yo, I need a fight out there. Keith Thurman said he was depressed. He said he's still waiting on a date. He stopped going to the gym. And then he said, I feel a little depressed. Fight, PBC, Showtime, ESPN, Top Rank, everybody. You got to understand who y'all signing. We hear it a lot about, oh, it's not like back in the days. We want to see these fighters fight. I think it's just in their best interest to be out there to fight if this is what they doing and this is what they need, and to stay hungry. Earl the True Spence, what he said leading up to the leading up to the Porter fight, and he had that interview after the car accident and stuff, like the car crash, and he said, man, look, I've gotten used to fighting. Then I got 8 months. I got all this time in my hand. I ain't gonna be staying in the gym. I don't know what to do. He said, Punch, everyone struggles in life, brother, but we can't complain about it to everyone that could care less. And that's how I feel. That I feel like boxers, I think they're explaining themselves to the wrong audience when they're going through what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? Because I know there's not a lot of fans like me that care. It's not a lot of fans. It's gonna happen. Something is gonna happen to a fighter. You see, like in wrestling, you see that the how these wrestlers kill themselves, or let's say Chris Benoit, who did that to his family. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that go straight to hell, right? But then you want to understand what led up to that. What led up to that? And then in the NFL, they talk about that CTE, something like that. They talk about that. In wrestling, they talk about concussion. You know that in boxing, they don't talk about that shit. Where you get hit in the head constantly. In boxing, they don't talk about no CTE. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about it like that. So what? Well, there's going to be disingenuous when people going to be like, well, that's what they signed up for. All right, that's what they signed up for. That doesn't mean that I cannot understand. Like, I think that's also disingenuous. That's what they signed up for. So fuck it. So because they signed up to do combat sport, that means that I can't understand when they're injured. I can't understand if they going through some mental breakdown or something like that, mental illness. Yeah, I wouldn't know. PSTD. We all struggle. I know, but that's like saying when people get mad, when people say all lives matter, you know what I'm saying? When people get mad, but we're talking about the black struggle right now. Y'all just trying to fog it up with the all lives matter. And it's almost like that. We all struggle. I know we all struggle. We all struggle. We all struggle. And I believe that everybody has their time to speak. But we're talking about fighters right now. So to me, say, hey, yo, you suffer mental illness. So what, Ryan? I suffer mental illness too. I don't give a fuck what you guys say. You know what I'm saying? My mama suffer from mental illness. My daddy suffer from mental illness. I don't know what you guys say. But Adrian Broner, I'm an alcoholic. So what? My uncle's alcoholic and shit like that. He come to Thanksgiving all the time, all drunk and shit. You know what I'm saying? I think let them get their time. Let me understand them, and then if you want to express your thing, and you know what I'm saying, I think everybody should have their time to get their time for people to understand them. We're talking about the fighters right now. We're talking about what to understand, and not everybody is putting their life the way that these fighters are doing in terms of work occupations. It's just all I'm saying is just I'm not even telling you to like the fighters, or I'm just telling you to understand the fighters. If LeBron James says right now, I've been thinking about I was thinking about suicide 3 times this year. The whole world would try. What's going on? What's going on, brother? What's going on? His teammates, his contemporaries, celebrities, friends, They will all tweet out, what's going on? Let's be there for you, man. What's going on? They reach out to him. They reach out to comfort him. They reach out his family. You know what? Stay out, man. What's going on, man? It's not good for you. Don't. You know what I'm saying? To certain athletes, they do that. Dímelo, Messi. Tio said that before the Cambosa fight, way before. Ain't nobody was paying. Didn't give a fuck about that, right? When he said that, give a fuck about that. When Ryan be saying, give a fuck about that. Who cares? Gotta fight. You gotta fight. Oh, yeah, they get to able to take that transition shot. Police athletes that been in the game since they were little children, and then boom, it's done. And now what? Yeah. But I'm talking about the disingenuous and talking about the boxing fan, bro. Like people, people are saying, "Yo, punch." Now you just really going at the fans on a consistent basis. If you understand, if you're a fan that really loves the game and loves the fighters, it wouldn't be. This is not me going at the fans, really. Why complain when no one wants to hear it? That's what a wise man told me. Yo, man, it's true, man. And that's what I said. And that's what I said that time. Sanchez was good, man. I said that, Tio, maybe Denison Garcia. I mean, it's good to hear it, but when he's saying that in front of boxing fans, I'm like, man, these motherfuckers don't give a fuck, man. They don't care, Danny. They care that you get knocked out, or you knock the other dude out. And they don't care how they're gonna go back in the locker room. They don't care about Ugas' eyes, man. Hey, yo, we want Earl Spence and Bud Crawford. Who gives a shit if who cares, right? That's how people think. Did you care that Rigondeaux? And I did say it bad from TV because, but Rigondeaux, what happened to his eyes? That people care about, like, damn, man, he might not be able to fight again. Or damn, man, he may not be able to fight again and feed his family the way he's been feeding his family. Damn, what is he going to do? Or even when guys like Tyson Fury says, I'm all right, I retire, even though that I feel like he's lying. But I think that, let's say Deontay Wilder is saying the truth. Like, I think that he really don't need a fight. He says, I don't need a fight. My family's taken care of. He had great investments. He's 36, going to be 37 years old. Correct. But people's like, no, come back and fight. No, come back and fight. But he's telling the people, like, I'm good. I'm good. People will be like, oh, Tyson Fury just scared of Alexander Usyk or Anthony or something. He said, I'm good already. I'm good. And then the way that he explains it, the way that he's talk about getting punched in the skull for a living, getting punched in the face for a living and stuff. I'm already well off. That's it. I'm good. Oh, come on. I'm like, but if a person want to retire, man, retire. If a person, I said to a fighter, if you got one foot in, one foot out the door, I'll be like, hey, yo, don't get inside the ring. Not because I don't want to see them. It's because you should be in the ring at your best. If you're going through mental issues or stuff like that, and it's gonna affect you in the ring in a dangerous sport, take time off. Am I gonna call him scared? Step inside the ring? No, take some time off. They got to make the transition from athletes into the next chapter of their life. Danny Garcia could probably go into commentary, even though Angel actually does the talking. He's the writing off, man. Look, it's a lone. How many times does these fighters have to say that is the lonely sport? from legends to current fighters and future fighters to come. It's a lonely sport. It's a lonely sport. What makes it so lonely? Let me say, why a fighter gotta feel like they're lonely? You know, I don't think that Manny Pacquiao, because Manny Pacquiao gets the love. Maybe they need our support. Maybe they need our genuine support. Maybe when they take a L, we don't write them off. Almost certainly, we shouldn't have a tweet that says it's a host of shot guys that shouldn't be fighting any longer, and fighters no one wants to see. He said fight no one wants to see. Let me see. Hold on. It's a brutal sport. We can't care, but we are not. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we got to be that. All I'm saying, we got to understand certain times when a fighter can't do what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not about critiquing the fighters or calling them out their manhood or something like that. If they can't do it, they can't do it. Some of these fighters actually go out there and fight. Some of these fighters get hurt and brutal in that ring and still continue. That speaks volume. That speaks character, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Kawanaki lost. Look how he lost. You know what I'm saying? He kept fighting though. Jose Benavidez was losing every round. He kept fighting though. Some of them get knocked down. They get back up. Antoine Russell won by TKO, but the man wanted to keep on fighting. They was mad that the referee stopped the fight. Fighters have heart, bro. That's what they have. That's how they build. They got heart for this combat shit. That's why they fighters. But also they're humans too. And there's certain things that they have to deal with outside of boxing in which they never had to deal with growing up, even as an early professional, because they always have handlers. They'll have their trainers that handle everything. They have nutritionists. They have the promoters. They have the managers to handle everything. These guys go to camp. They got to leave their family. Then it's like an actor. They have to, let's say Nonito Donaire, when he said he needed like what, three weeks to get that mindset back down to like just like a normal human, because his mind is already activated as a fighter. That's it. He's already zoned in as a fighter. It's like an actor. These actors in Hollywood, they have to go to a therapist or something because they've been playing a role and they've been working on this role for so long that they need help breaking out of that role because they're still playing that role. I think Johnny Depp had a problem with that. Was this other guy that he did what was that movie or that Sons of Anarchy? The white guy with the blonde hair. He had to go through that shit for a whole year to break out of that character to go back into like his normal self. Same thing for a fighter. A fighter needs to mind fuck himself as well. That he could destroy every man while in training. You think that you gotta, no man could beat me. No man could beat me. You gotta have that mindset. As the mindset of the fighter. You go in the 10-8 camp, 10 a week, 8 camp, 8 to 10 week camp. And you there preparing, fighting, about to for a comeback. Why you think people in the army, they from the Marines, they go to war, they got to come back and they got to go, check themselves and talk to people, talk to doctors. You don't think that fighters also go through that type of trauma? So you got to understand, man. Yeah, we going this punch on boxing. We going to another level now, man. This is really about to understand the fighters. There's too many. There's too many channels out there that just talk blah 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 about fighters and stuff like that. I want we got to go. This channel we're gonna go in deeper into the fighters now. If there's not a lot of things that people like to see any fights, you know what? Let's go in deeper talking about this shit. Let's really understand the fighters. Now, if I want to do the interviews with fighters, I want to go. I'm gonna do it in person, and I want to talk just more. What leads up to what is in the fighter's mindset? What is the sacrifices? And we know, but now we gotta see it. We gotta understand it. I want people to understand it. There's too many channels. Too many channels are the same way. Disrespecting, degrading, calling out fighters, pussy bums, every derogatory term you could think of, devaluing the sport of boxing, devalue the events, and then everybody wants to go and do a live stream about the fight. That's the funny shit. Punch, but the elite levels do be getting overpaid these days. What's overpaid? The chief, what do you mean overpaid? What's overpaid? Why what's overpaid when you're going in there risking your life? What is overpaid? I think teachers are underpaid. I think that people that doctors is what is the price of a firefighter? Let me ask you, what is the price of a firefighter going inside a burning building to save your life? How much is he or she worth? If the salary is, let's say the salary of a firefighter, let's say is 100K a year, let's say, and then I pay this firefighter 500K. Am I overpaying them? For fighting cherry picks and then going on your vacation. But don't you think the people how about the people that's getting paid? How about the other people that's getting paid? How about the other people that's getting paid? Because he's not the only one that's getting paid. Everybody else is getting paid. What about them? My opinion, brother, let them get over. I don't care if they get paid. I want them to get paid more. Like why do I care about them? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's overpaid. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's overpaid. Like, what do I mean overpaying? I don't care if Bud Crawford was getting paid 20 million to fight the 40th ranked fighter. I applaud that he's getting paid 40 mil for that. I don't say fighter is overpaid. Frank Tank, salute, Punch. Great show as always. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I don't know. I'm just one of them channels. I don't know. I'm one of those people. That's why I said Amanda Serrano is a 7-figure fighter. And nobody want to believe it. Ain't nobody, and people was talking down about it. And then she got 7 figures. And then look how that fight did. It sold out the Garden. And all she got was 1 million. And Katie Taylor only got 1 million. You think now that was they overpaid? Or that even that 1 million is underpaid? You know that the Zone never came out with the viewership of any other fight, but they came out with the viewership of Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. That was a highly successful fight that everyone got over. Let's say everybody behind the scenes, they got overpaid. Do you think now after that success, now can you tell me the last fight that was sold out in Madison Square Garden? I'm telling you, Madison Square Garden ain't no $5 seats $10, $20 seats. Madison Square Garden is probably the most expensive tickets to get in all of sports. That's why they don't even like to put events in Madison Square Garden, because the taxes that needs to be paid. So 19 plus thousand sold out, and I was there. It was sold out. And then and a Katie Taylor and a Minnesota want to get $2 million. You think that was only $2 million in the pot? Facts. So true. There's no there's no money that can give you your wealth, health back, of even bring you back if you die in the ring. So glad he opened up like men should. Facts. I just don't feel like the boxing world cares about what he said. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate because I don't know the boxing. I don't know, the boxing community just feels like. But I'm glad to see the poll. I'm glad to see this poll though. I like to see the results of this poll. You know what I'm saying? Do you care about fighters' mental or physical health? You know, most people say yes, man. So I'm very happy that people are saying yes. Choice, what's good? You think boxing should have a union or Toro Gotti? Yes. Is yes and not? I don't know, because you know what makes it special about boxing as well is that it's almost like anybody could get into boxing. If you got money, you got a trainer, you got a fighter. Like, you don't have to. If you're in a union, it's almost like, if I have the money to buy a team in the NBA, I can't buy a team in the NBA if I want to. But in boxing, if you have money and you got a good fighter and you're investing on a fighter, and boom, and then nobody is stopping you in boxing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like that open. It's like that open trade or whatever you call it. Like, it's like you could walk into the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what makes the a Devin Haney and a Bill Haney a special thing, because father had the money. Let's go to Mexico. Let's become a professional. Boom, boom, boom. He's putting all that money all in his son, paying the other fighter, paying his fighter. That's the way that you do it when you're coming up. So Bill invested so much money in his son. Then when he gets the deal with the zone, people be like, "Hey, yo, they overpaying him." Nah, man, you gotta understand how much money they already was invested. The money already was invested. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know, hey, there's different type of unions depending what's in the union. You feel that depending what they have, choice. Depending what was in the book or what they fighting for. Thanks, choice. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. You know why, man? I feel like that because I love boxing, bro. And I thought that, to be honest, choice, bro, I thought this community was hardcore boxing fans. I thought they love fighters. I thought that I was going to share. Oh, I know not everybody thinks alike. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that everybody got to agree, right, wrong, or something. But I thought that the core, the center is that we want to preserve our sport, and we care about fighters and understand the fight game and the fighters. But it just seems like the more I see this community and the pushes that's pushing it, it's like, yo, it's about them. All these channels is about them now. It's not about the fight game. It's about them. It's cool. Hustle all you want. But I'm going to speak up about it, though. Go ahead, hustle the people. I'm going to speak on how y'all hustling the people. And the people still going to buy it, just like drug addicts. They know that drug is bad, but they're still going to buy the drug. They know that drug dealers ain't doing good for the community. But you know what? Some people keep it moving. Boom, Mafina's going to get his work. And the worker's going to get his work to sell it and make a living off of it. I get it. That's just the world. It's like the block. I understand. HLD in the building. What's good, brother? What's good? But I'm not in the business of, or the fan of, saying Hey, yo, this is whack. Don't watch this. Like, let's say even with the only fight that I said I'm not gonna watch the pay-per-view, but I didn't say don't watch the pay-per-view. I said I'm not gonna pay for the pay-per-view of the Tank and Isaac Cruz, not because of Tank, because I'm a fan of Tank, not because it's Isaac Cruz. It was the principle on how they maneuver to get that fight. They took away Rolly's opportunity that time. I'm glad that he got it back because of an allegation that came out that he was never charged with. And I felt that boxing and the network did wrong at that time by Rolly. That means that anybody could just say something, you going to take food on my plate. And when Rolly's saying, yo, I was about to buy my mama a house, I was going to do this. And nothing of that became true or nothing like that. That shit was whack. Look what's happening to Jean Rio Casimero. They found out that this girl was lying. He can't even come to the country because of what a woman lied. And now over there in the Philippines, they found out that it was a lie, that she was paid to say this. And then nobody putting that woman in jail. So he lost his visa. He couldn't come to the country. You know what I'm saying? They was desperate to do some politic work to strip him off the belt and all that stuff. Like, it's crazy, man. This is a brutal sport. It's a brutal sport. Why the fans got to make and why the fans got to make it more brutal? You know what I'm saying? So when T.O., Deontay Wilder, Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, you see what Mike Tyson talks about, what he was going through back then and what he's going through right now. We listen. We just can't pick and choose who to listen to and give them the benefit of the doubt or understand what they're going through just because we love Mike Tyson. What about the current fighters right now? It shouldn't be, damn, I get it, Danny Swift Garcia. And he showed those type of emotions so people can actually be like, hey, yo, this is some real shit that's going on with these fighters. But then when Ryan Garcia said the same thing, I said that I needed time off. Y'all called him a pussy. I called him scared and all the derogatory thing in the book. And then when the fighter says, there's other fighters that be like, yo, I just had to step inside the ring because I need to make some money. You think it was reported that Javier Fortuna got paid $100K to fight Ryan Garcia. Now, I think for that type of fight, $100K was like, damn, you only got paid $100K, taxes off. Shit, you can't even buy a house you can't even buy a house in the poorest area of DR. You can't even buy a house in the poorest. You can't even buy land in the poorest part of DR with that check. But don't you think they said, take it or leave it, Javier Fortuna? And what Javier Fortuna going to say? Just like Jackson Martinez, he got knocked out by Martin. But what they did, but he had a 9 days a replacement of 9 days. Jackson Martinez, he get knocked out. But you really think that he's that bad that's gonna get knocked out? No, they gave him 9 days. Take it or leave it. Now Jackson Martinez is like, I gotta take this fight because I don't even know when my next check is gonna come. I don't know when my fight is gonna come, so fuck it. Sometimes they do this strategically. Sometimes promotional company do this strategically. They know the fighter to pick. Okay, this fighter, he got a name, but he's not even prepared to free fight. So let's go get him. Let's give him the type of check that, all right, let me get this fight. There's a lot of fighters that do that shit. And then some of these people call them a bum or whatever. What happened in that fight? Sometimes these guys are forced to take fights because they need to get paid to take care of their family. As a former pro fighter that have been through so much adversity through my career, the fans do not know what goes on behind the scenes. Facts, Peter. And that's why in my channel, I try hard to understand. I know fighters that I know behind the scenes that tell me shit that I wish fans would just understand. Just understand it. You feel me? If we're the fight fan. A lot of these fighters experiencing mental issues because they are taking drugs and watching mainstream television. This stuff is the devil. They could be doing that, but I think it's more it's more to that too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to understand mental illness because there's so much levels, right, of mental illness. Even if there's like bipolar, there's levels of bipolar, or anxiety, levels of anxiety, and on depression, levels of depression. There's people that live with depression. There's the people that have killed themselves having depression. You know what I'm saying? Um, but one thing that I hear mostly about fighters is that fight that is a lonely is a lonely sport, is a lonely world, is a lonely world, is a lonely. So what do we have to do to make fighters feel that they're not alone? Thanks, Game Boy. If we hear this from time from years and years and decades of fighters saying the same thing, from our favorite fighters, legend from Oscar De La Hoya saying the same thing, Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, Tio, Ryan, Dave Garcia, all these fighters say the same thing. It's a lonely sport. It's a lonely world. It's a lonely world. What are we doing for them not to feel lonely? Now you're going to take your battles. You're going to take your licks in the ring. You understand that? But what are we doing as a community that make them feel that is a lonely sport? Thanks, Game Boy. Bro, this is the dirtiest game in the world. And you know what else, Peter? The thing that we know is the dirtiest game in the world. I said that this is the gangster's playground. I've been saying it since I've created my channel, and of course, I've been knowing this before. Is the dirtiest game. Is the dirtiest game. I call boxing the gangster's playground. The fans know this. The fans know there's some politics. The fans know that there was some politics on that 114 card that they gave the Jose Ramirez and Danny Garcia. I give one round to Jose Benavidez. I'm sorry, Jose Benavidez. I didn't give one round to Jose Benavidez, not one. And I wasn't scoring. I was just actually watching a fight in the restaurant. But even talking to the guy that was betting on Jose Benavidez, he didn't even give him one round. So I'm like, we know there's corruption in boxing. We know that as fans, as hardcore boxing fans. But sometimes we turn our heads on other subjects. So when Sugar Ray Leonard say what he's saying, we respect it. But when a current fighter is saying what he's saying, we don't respect it. Then Ryan Garcia is on this. But Mike Tyson it's not all of that. Not, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. All I'm saying, that inconsistency. Every job is a lonely place. We all only had as good as our last performance. That's life. We're raising a bunch of cats, so-called men, all unprepared for this cutthroat life. I think society is raising a lot of beta males. I know that. But as a boxing fan, and as a boxing fan that loves fighters, do my best to understand the fighters, created the channel for the fighters, created the channel to preserve the sport of boxing and preserve the modern day warriors, modern day lads that put their life on the line. I'm giving the fighters the benefit of the doubt. Fighter fan, I'm giving the fighter the benefit of the doubt. Fighter analysis, I'm giving the fighter the benefit. Fighter promote, I'm giving the fighter the benefit. The fighter manager, giving the fighter the benefit of the doubt. The fighter, I'm giving the fighter the benefit of the doubt. He's the one that's risking his life. These fighters also go out there, even what they're going through. But we're talking about fighters because now we could talk about everybody in the world. And once we talk about everybody in the world, then then if we start saying, well, everybody's going through some shit, then nobody's gonna want to fix or anything. Now, if we're saying that everybody's good, I mean everybody's an alcoholic. All right, so everybody's an alcoholic. So who's gonna help? Who's gonna help who? I don't believe that. I don't believe that everything is lonely. I think there are a lot of people got their support system. I never heard that term when look at a team. You're not lonely in a team because you got a team. Even when you're playing football, you're training to play football. You got to pick up the next man up. No, not in boxing. Look at this. Even look, there's teams out there, and I'm gonna tell you how lonely it is. There's teams out there that have psychiatrists on deck. They got their trainers and doctors on deck. You go to practice, you seen your doctor. Shit, you get an MRI right there. You get an MRI, right? You get an X-ray in the locker room. That's not lonely. That's a team. They got a team. In boxing, when I saw that fight in the bus stop in Bakersfield, after he got knocked out, I didn't see his trainer because probably his trainer was training somebody else. He was taking himself to the hospital. I wish I would have. See, I cared about the fighter so much that I didn't think about myself to do a interview or videotape him and ask him the questions and stuff like that. That would have been good because I wanted to, so for the people could actually see what fighters go through. What is it, in my opinion, is that you ask a fighter whose story and success is built upon brutally to. I'm happy. I know. I'm Joshua. I'm happy that that they all voice their opinions. It creates awareness. What I'm not happy about is the nature of the boxing fan that don't care about the health, mentally or physically, of the fighter. That don't want to understand it. Not necessarily like yo, like be their brother and stuff like that. When the media showed Mike Tyson to be himself, he showed more of himself. Yeah. Life has ups and downs. And if we don't prepare our kids to deal with shit, they will hang themselves under pressure. And that's what's going on in America today. We soft as a nation. I think we are soft. Yep. I think we've put the belts away, the switches away. We kept the switches in the brain in the trees, you know. But nah, I think that we've become a society of creating beta males. I think we became a society of watching and let others go through some, being entertained to see people's downfalls. That's what we're entertained by. That our sports now has become that. Our sports have become that. More sports are becoming that. Like I say it all the time because I'm disgusted the way they even have devalued what Russell Westbrook has done. Guys like that. Stat padding. It's like, damn, this guy's doing something great. I never thought a baller would do what he's doing right now. But nah. Pun Lennox Lewis said it best. If I didn't mention playing chess in my free time, you would not have a story at all. Yo, man, fighters go through a lot of shit, man. Fighters go through shit, bro. Like the normal people. Like the normal people. But some of them, man, they go through some shit that they shouldn't be alone in this, man. A fighter shouldn't be alone. Hey, Juanito Doné said the other day on the channel. What he said? When he winning, everybody hits him up. Everybody. Phone blows up, everything. When he lost, only 10 people hit him up. Wow. Out of all the people that you know when you're on top, only 10 people, when you take that loss, hit you up. Did anybody ask them other than how's your health? How's all of that? I don't know. That's why I said I don't think that Manny Pacquiao feel lonely, because you see the support of Manny Pacquiao, the country, his family, you know, the people around him and stuff like that. Love when you do videos like this, mental health. You speak on a lot. Thanks, America. Yo, thanks, real American fan. I know. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support, real American fan. Thank you for the support. And this is just not about Danny Garcia. It's just a lot of fighters say they say these things. You know what I'm saying? And we don't highlight it. We don't be like, oh, hold up, y'all. All right, man, stop your criticism and stuff like that. There's something going on with this human. Instead of making fun of him, let's understand him. That's alarming when I heard Earl Spence say that. But it wasn't highlighted by a lot of people. It was alarming. That's why I did the video of Adrian Broner. And I said, let's pray for Adrian Broner. I keep it consistent. I don't know what other people's do, but this is not a new thing. Watch, this ain't a new thing. Hold on. I'll show y'all right now. I'm been consistent with this. Hold on. I'll show you right now. Hold on. I did the live. I did Adrian Broner admits to his alcoholism. Are we going to help him or let him crash? I did a live show about that. I said alcoholism, Adrian the problem Broner. Why are we neglecting his outcry? I did this stream last year. What's good, John? Let's see. Talk about fatherhood. Did the video with praising the fatherhood of Sean Porter and Earl Spence leading up to their fight. Remember, I've been saying fatherhood is prominent in the sport of boxing. What did Danny Silva Garcia say? What he was saying in his post-fight interview when he was talking about his father? Man, I'm nothing without this man. This man has helped me throughout my life and stuff. I'm nothing without this man. The same man, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. The same man, he says, I'm nothing without this man. I won't be who I am because of this man. I don't know what I'll do. If he's saying he's depressed and the only person that was there has been his father. Yeah, in boxing, he was one of the father that most of the boxing world was telling his son to fire. The same thing they do to Kenny Porter, the same thing they do to Tio Sr. Oh, fire the father. Remember, I've done videos about that. Everybody telling Danny Silva Garcia to fire his father, but this is the man that keeps him up. This is the man that keeps him strong. This is the man that keeps him alive. His dad. But you, as the boxing fan, y'all won't understand that. Y'all want Danny Silva Garcia to fire his father. Y'all want, Sean Porter to fire Kenny Porter. Y'all want Teofimo Lopez to fire his dad. But when I see them together, yo, man, when he's saying this, the dynamic duo, when they say that we came in this together, Ryan Garcia said in the past, I would never step inside that ring if I don't have my dad in my corner. I won't fight. I retire. I can't fight without my dad. Y'all want him to fire his dad. Like people forget who built this fighter. Who built this fighter for y'all to say fire the fighter now? Fire the father. Are you going to implement, add it to your team? That's what these guys do. They don't let go of their father. They know who built them. They add to the team. They add to a training camp. They add a physical, what you call it, a strength and conditioning coach. They'll add a nutritionist. They'll add some input. But me to say fire your father? Mira, señor. If you go to my son and say to fire me, yo te doy una galleta a ti. My son said, yo, Pops, yo, this person said meant to let go and to fire you. He's a... ¿Qué? Hey, come over here. ¿Qué tú estás hablando? ¿Por qué tú le estás hablando a mi hijo de mí? Una galletón. Sometimes we cross the lines as fans too. We cross the line as fans. Give me a second. So yeah, 1 second, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Said people also shit on fighters' dad are the same ones who grew up without their dads. Yo, Ride of the Storm, I used to think that all the time, man. I used to say that shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought, I used to think about it. And I didn't want to say it like that because, you know what I'm saying? That's, you never know. But I always felt like that. I felt like the people that says to fire your dad, y'all don't know the importance of a dad. Y'all would say for the man that built this guy to be a successful millionaire in the occupations that they build and molded, to fire the father? They don't know what it's like to grow up with your dad around. Facts. Yo, but it's like y'all saw me. I was out there in Jersey, watching Teofimo Lopez train, and the camaraderie with Tio and his dad is like, yo, these dudes. When I say the dynamic dude, like these dudes are like inseparable, bro. It's like no, it's gonna take, it's gonna take something brutal, to break that to Tio to leave his dad. He shouldn't, bro. I see why they are the way they are towards each other. Well, the whole world saying let go is they said, man, fuck you, let go of my dad. Motherfucker, when I was let go of my dad, let go of him. Time out. When I was in the hospital, or when I've been in the hospital before, it's only been my dad and my mom. What the fuck you talking about? Leave my dad. What the fuck is you talking about? And then y'all motherfuckers was there anyway. And that motherfucker ain't wasn't like y'all wasn't in the fucking outside Bellevue Hospital like a bunch of ladies was outside the courtroom with Johnny Depp. Yeah. I'm saying the thing that I don't want it to happen, and good looking out Right of the Storm. The thing I don't want it to happen. I don't want something real bad to happen, and then we hear a story of a fighter killing himself or something like that, and then we be like, what led up to that? And then he leaves a note of anxiety, depression, and all that stuff. And he was explaining it to him. And while the world was saying that while some what half boxing fans are saying, man, please, man, you just scared that you out of the fight, or you're scared, you're pussy, you're a bum, you're fearful of a fighter. And it was more because what he was going through. But since the boxing fans didn't want to understand, boom, look what happens. Joshua Vargas, what do you think he should do? He been getting hurt pretty bad. I'm not saying he should leave his father. Or Josue Vargas, leave his father. I think that what he should do is I don't think he should leave his father. I think that he should add to the team. Josue Vargas should be like, Dad, you always going to be in my corner. You're always going to have a voice. Let me tell you something about father and son relationship in any other sport. When you teach your son something and you mold and you groom your son, another coach can have it. You know what your son is going to be doing? He's always going to be like this, looking at the dad. I coach my son, but if my son is playing in a team and he's in another team and another coach, and I'm in the bleachers watching his game, when my son scores, he looks at me. When he turns a turnover, he looks at me. When I'm telling him something and his coach is telling him something, he's actually doing what I'm telling him. So, Rapstar boxing knowledge in the building. What's good, Rap?
What's happening, my brethren, to the people them and everybody in the boxing heads in the building, bro? What's going on?
What's good, man? And in the community, in the community post, the link is in the community post for the Drunk Nation members, man.
Excellent, bro. But look, I'm a VIP member. I pay hundreds to be on the VIP membership. Ain't nobody coming on the VIP. You better pay your $300 a year. That's VIP membership, bro. What's going on? Hey, listen, Punch, I gotta say this though, bro. And a lot of fighters I've ever looked up to in my life, who've been, you know, an inspiration to me, they've all had some kind of an issue. You know, most of the fighters that we love, yeah, the people that we grew up to, the Tysons, the Sugar Ray Leonards, the Prince Nassim Hamids, the people that we really looked up to, they all had some kind of an issue, Punch. They're human beings. And I do believe that we as fans forget that these fighters are not just fighters, they're human beings. They got feelings. And we always think now they're tougher than the rest. Yeah, they're tough guys. But you got to remember this, Punch. A lot of people use mental illness for boxing. Boxing helps mental illness. Boxing helps a lot of people which are suffering through depression. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is that sport that helps a lot of people to find themselves. What do you think about that?
I think it does, but I think some of these guys was they didn't have the time to find that because it clears depression. I think that a lot of these fighters are just, you know, it's like did Floyd Mayweather have a choice did he had a choice? No, his father just he introduced him to boxing at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Floyd just loved it as much as his dad loved it, and he just kept on going with it. It's just what they know. Now there's fighters out there like George Campos has explained here, and when I had the interview with him, that drove him to boxing was bullying. They was bullying him, and he never want to be bullied. Mike Tyson tells his story, so I think some of them fight bullying. They found out that they're good at something, and some of them just keeps on because it clears them of depression or anxiety or things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of reasons why fighters do what they do and keep on doing what they're doing, even when they got all the money in the world and they still want to fight. It's like Danny Garcia yesterday. He's like, I got money, I got that, but I need to fight. This is what I do. This is who I am. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think it's everything, you know?
Yeah, but look, at the end of the day, right? You said this a long time ago, but you got to remember this, Punch. Even Mike Tyson had some issues like that, bro. And some of the toughest men in the world that you look up to had a weakness. Now, is mental illness and depression, is it a weakness? You said that when Tyson Fury said it, It's some form of a weakness. When Teofimo said it, it's some form of a weakness. When now Danny Garcia said it, it's some form of a weakness. But isn't the weakness is what makes you a stronger person by recognizing that you do have an issue?
I agree. I think it's a weakness, but I don't. But like I said before, and there's some people that took it that took it out of context. It's a weakness in that period of time. You're weak in that period of time, just like if you have fever, you're weak. Just like if you had an injury, you're weak. You got a right ankle injury, you're weak, so you can't perform the way you can perform. Illness is an illness, whether it's mental illness, whether it's a sick illness, with fever and stuff like that, you're gonna be weak. So that's what I meant about being weak. But these men are strong though. These men could be suffering from a mental illness, but still step inside the ring. These fighters could suffer sprain risk, broken hand, and still go through the fight. You understand what I'm saying? So fighters just gotta, I feel like, gotta be understood more. Not necessarily you gotta cheer for them. That's not your favorite fighter. You don't like his skill set or whatever. But to understand, I think for a fan, it doesn't hurt to understand a fighter. If a fighter say he's going through something mentally, you know what I'm saying? Let's be there for him. Why do all these fighters got to keep on saying that boxing is a lonely world? Why? Ain't no athletes in the world saying that shit. Ain't no athletes saying that basketball is a lonely world, that tennis is a lonely world. That why boxers are always saying that it's a lonely world. What are we doing for these boxers? Why are we abandoning these boxers even when they have their downfall? Why they so lonely? What are we doing?
Because boxers are looked upon as a little bit of a special specimen. They're looked upon as a man who's a warrior, who's doing things so that fans can support this man. So boxers don't like letting themselves to the fans know that, oh, you know what, I'm feeling depressed. I don't feel that good. Like if Canelo Alvarez says now, I feel depressed after losing my Bivol fight, but I'm going to come back stronger. A lot of fans would slander him for that as well. So I feel that warriors and boxers feel that they're warriors and they don't want to let off what they're feeling inside because they feel like people will look at them as a weaker person. You know what I mean? And, you know, at the end of the day, we got to remember this, that even Canelo Alvarez, after that loss, there could be things playing in Canelo Alvarez's brain, but he has to channel it and he has to understand that he's coming back for a better day. Some fighters don't know how to handle losses as well. You've been winning all your life and you lose in front of your kids, your family. That can also play a part, you know, no matter how hard you try. You sweat blood, sweat, and tears, but you can't beat this guy. And you heard Danny Garcia. He said, I've had this for a while now. And then he mentioned Keith Thurman's name. And it's like Danny Garcia till today hasn't got over Keith Thurman beating him, Punch.
Yeah.
That also has played a problem in Danny Garcia's life because maybe Keith Thurman took something away from him in that fight and he's never recovered from that loss. What do you think about that?
Hey, once you go into training camp and you believe something, you believe that you could beat this guy, and then like you just said, and then you lose to this guy, man. Remember, and I said it before, earlier in the live, these guys, they train and they mentally fuck themselves that they could beat any man. So yes, and I agree with you 100%. It gets to a delusional state of mind when you do lose because you just trained 2 months and probably before that believing that this man has no way this man is going to beat me. No way. I worked hard for this. I blood, sweat, and tears for this. I prepare and sparring for this. This man can't beat me, and this man beat me. Nah, I can't. That's my first L. Damn, man, I lost my title. Nah, man. Like, what went wrong? Nothing went wrong. I trained like this. What happened? You know? So it is, man. It is.
Look, I'm gonna break it down like this, Punch. You one of the most passionate men I've met in boxing, apart from the guys in England, all right? Because they're fucking crazy. We love boxing, right? But the passion that we have as fans, just as boxing. Now, imagine if you was that boxer who was training 4 times a day. You've been training with your whole team all your life. You've been training. This is all you know. And you give everything to the sport and you lose against another man. I'm telling you now, Punch, if that was me, No matter how hard I trained and I lost, it'll play on my brain. It'll make me feel a bit sad. I'll have to tell my children, you know what? Don't worry, son. Your dad did his best, but I just couldn't beat the other guy. I'll tell you something, Punch. It makes you feel like you've lost some integrity in there. You know, it's very tough to take a loss like that as a man as well. We don't look at that. We don't think. Can you imagine if you lost in the ring and you trained like those guys, Punch? Can you imagine what you would feel like in front of your kids and how you would have to deal with that situation? It's tough. I can't even see you admitting it.
That one.
That losing in a fight like that after giving everything to your life and then coming back home to explain to your children why you lost. It's a very tough situation, Punch.
Yeah, it is.
I've got to be honest with you. Maybe I would be depressed. I'm going to keep it real with you, Punch. Maybe I'd be depressed if I lost like that, bro.
Bro, if you lose your job to come back home and tell your family that you lost your job and you don't know what you're going to do next. You don't know when you're going when you're going to have that next job, when you're going to have that paycheck, when you're going and all you paying attention is the bills. And then you let your wife know. Let's say if your wife don't work and she's just a housewife and you come back home from your job and tell your wife, I got laid off. That's a depression stage. So just imagine just losing. You're the superhero. Like you were saying, fighters are considered these special humans, right? These special warriors. And then they lose their cape because that's what happens. They lose their cape. Some of these knockout artists, as we call it, the knockout artists, they lose their aura. Deontay Wilder lost his aura. You know what I'm saying? Knocking everybody out, and then he's not the same.
I'm going to share a story with you about a fighter that we really look up to in England. And, you know, his name is the Dark Destroyer, Nigel Benn. This man had London, and everybody in England loved him because he wanted to fight anyone. Win or lose, he'd fight anyone for you. And the fans were behind him. And I remember him saying that he was sitting in the car after he lost to Chris Eubank. He wanted to kill himself, Punch. While the world was standing outside to just embrace him because, you know, he lost, but he fought for the fans, right? They love him. He was sitting in a car in the middle of the night contemplating that he wanted to kill himself. He didn't feel worthy anymore. You know, I've got to tell you, Punch, that is crazy when you got to swallow that pride of yours and you got to know how to channel it in your brain. And I feel like some people, they just don't know how to handle losses, bro, as well.
Well, he said the pressure of boxing.
Yeah.
The pressure of boxing. And to be honest, the pressure of boxing also is to win. You train, you work hard to win, and then win for the people that support you. That's why these fighters, you could tell lately, they're apologizing for losing. They're apologizing to their fans. Javier Fortuna need to apologize to the Dominican Republic and the fans because he lost. He needs to say, I'm sorry. And I don't think a fighter should be apologizing for the fans that they lost. They lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, they fought and you got knocked out. What how can you know what I'm saying? A fan, but the pressure of them not fulfilling what they promised, you know what I'm saying, to do. And then you look less than. The people write you off. They tell you you're done. You tell you that you're shot. They tell you that you washed up. You don't know when you're going to fight again. You don't know when you're going to get them licks back. Nothing. It is. And you said, let's say Daniel Garcia, he hasn't fought in a year and a half. He has to sit on that loss for a year and a half. On Earl Spence, he needs to sit on that loss for a year and a half. So in boxing, and I don't like to say it like that, but just so people can understand. So in boxing, if Danny Garcia lost a year and a half, he's been a loser for a year and a half till yesterday that he beats Jose Benavidez Jr. and then he gains that win back. So that's why I feel like the emotions come because all them days sitting back and then training. It's like, it's not basketball. Yo, the Knicks play on Friday. If they lose today, Hey yo, we gotta go. We gotta there's another don't sit on this game. We got another game tomorrow or on Sunday, and then the next win on the Sunday, right? And they forget about what really happened on Friday. For boxers, shit. They stay on that loss, bro. And they can't do shit about it until they get their next fight.
Yeah, and they gotta hide their emotions too. You gotta remember that a boxer has to hide his emotions in front of the world, because at the end of the day, whatever's bottling up inside, they gotta get rid of that. You know, they're not here to spread their emotions and feelings. They gotta constantly stay positive. So sometimes maybe there's stuff that's building up over time, Punch. That because they're not able to, sit there and deal with their feelings. Maybe there's things that play up on them,
Yeah. Right of the Storm said, I'm really enjoying the topic. I'm hanging outside with the kids and wife and about to BBQ. Makes me happy to enjoy my life and truly blessed. Thanks, Punch and Rap Star. Thank you, man. And God bless you and your family. Hope you're having a great barbecue. I'm saying, wash it down with some good beer. But yeah, man, thanks, brother. Real American Fan, Rap Star. I cried when I seen Nigel. Been crying when he seen what he did to Gear McCullen.
What's that?
He's a documentary that's hard to watch, but it's true. The Nigel Ben.
Nigel Ben?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was, that's a problem, Punch. We used to look at him and we used to think of Nigel Ben as a product. And we're wrong as fans. We always think these guys don't deserve to have feelings. We think we don't want to hear no sob story.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying about the boxing fan. The boxing fan don't want to, if we're gear, we pay, we're entertained to watch another man strip the health from another man. So health is not really, and I said this in other live shows, health is the last thing the boxing fans think about. But I think that we need to, I think if we're to speak about us being hardcore boxing fans and know how to analyze fights and know how to analyze all of this and love the sport of boxing and love these fighters, respect these fighters, know the sacrifice of these fighters, I think we should understand also the mind of a fighter, what they're also going through, so it could better understand us how they're going inside that ring as well. It's not always brushing we're always trying to brush things off, and I think these fighters are crying right now. These fighters are crying right now, and we're like, fuck it. You signed up for this. You gotta do what you gotta do. Fight. I don't give a fuck. And there's gonna be a time. There's gonna be a bunch of fighters like in wrestling killing themselves. Why these fighters? Why fighters are going left and right, doing this to them, to themselves?
Yo, Punch, I'll tell you this as well. And I remember you reminding us. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
You said to me, a fighter needs to think in his mind sometimes that nothing else matters, but he has to do the job on the other guy before the other guy does a job on him. So his mindset is, I'm going to take this man out. And if he thinks anything else, then he will lose the fight sometimes. Like, you got to be a certain way in your mind. And you even said fighters say they're going to kill a man because that hypes them up. And they mentally need to feel like that so they can be that strong in a fight. They can't have any feelings. And I remember Nigel Ben saying this in his documentary. He said when he had that feeling that he had to kill everyone, he felt strong. But after there was a feeling that came into him that, wait there, he don't want to hurt people like that anymore. You know, when he did that to Gerald McKellen, he nearly killed him, right? And he said to himself that it started to hurt him in his brain that, look, I nearly killed this man, And he started crying about it. That's when he knew he lost it. Because he never had that. He started to fear. When you have fear, you can't fight anymore. And one thing I've realized is you can be physically the best man in the world. If your mental state of mind, Mr. Punch Drunk Boxing, is slightly off, you're going to get fucked up.
Yep. Now, who also killed somebody in the ring? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Did he kill someone?
Yeah. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Yeah. Junior killed somebody in the ring. And also, who else?
Patrick Day died.
Patrick Day died, but Sergey Kovalev killed somebody in the ring as well.
Yeah. I know Sergio Kovalev. Chris Eubank Jr. put someone in a coma, Nick Blackwell from England. And that guy's never been the same.
So now we're hearing these fighters, when they really do come out, that fucked up with their head. I think that changed a little bit of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. as a person.
Yeah, maybe it did.
Maybe as a fighter too.
Yeah.
So, man, it's the truth is, Game Boy, good looking out with a super chat. Good looking out, American fan, with a super chat. Good looking out with a super chat. Game Boy said the truth is most of the greats have mental issues. Yes, they did. In fact, we had a live about that as well. The ones that handle it the best perform the best. Rap star, salute to your mental health perspective. It's right on point.
Oh yeah, Punch. What about that Ray Mancini? He killed that other guy, didn't he?
Yeah,
Ray Mancini. He killed a guy. I remember. Somebody in the chat's got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Put it on Put it on Peter. Do Kim fight. Remember?
Yeah. This one. Yeah. Good looking out, Game Boy. Yeah, man.
Yeah, Punch. I gotta be honest, Punch. You know, some of these fighters, I've grew up with fighters. They have a lot of love. You know that. Like Tio, Haney, Andre. You see how they are behind us. They got a lot of love, haven't they?
Yeah.
Some of them people, they got a lot of love in their heart, don't they? Some of these fighters. And I think it's tough for them, you know that, because sometimes you can't have feelings. Just soon as, like Nigel Benn said, that soon as he had a feeling, he was finished. He had to have no feelings. He had to be that guy, or he just wasn't going to be that guy in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have a serious way of balancing to be a great boxer.
And that's what makes a professional, right? That's what makes a professional. But also is, we can't also be this like what I don't like is that sometimes we know the story, the background. We know what certain fighters, we don't know all fighters. We know just a little bit what certain fighter is going through. And then, we act as almost like, for how many years people talked about, Mike Tyson blew all this money. Mike Tyson blew all this money. My man went from poor to nothing to this billionaire. He don't know how to count, man. He probably didn't even know how to count $70,000. But then you got all this money. You think that this young man that took over the world got the whole world on his shoulder, because remember, back in the days when you were the heavyweight champion of the world, you was the king of the world, bro. You was the king. You was the number one gladiator of the world. You expecting this 21-year-old kid to understand how to spend money, how to take care of anybody, it's easy for adults to talk about it. Like, it's easy for the analysts that is 40, 50 years old that's reporting on Mike Tyson, just like they do to NBA players and all these that they lose their money and stuff like that. These are people that went from, you're 17, eating potato chip, playing basketball right outside in the stoop, right in the corner, and then the next summer pops up, you get drafted and you're a millionaire. And you expect you think that you know what they know what they're going to do with their money. And now they got all these people around that they never met, don't know his culture, handling his money, is in his corner. He's surrounded by a bunch of people that he don't know. And those people trying to keep him from hanging with the people that he do know, because you don't want to be, it's like when people, why you still in the hood? Sometimes people be like, Javante Tandy, why he go back to Baltimore? Man, that's his comfortability.
Yeah, now keep chopping. I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm just going up the stairs.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying is, I think we just gotta. I feel like we should understand more. We should take the time to understand more, and we should highlight. We should be like, hey yo, pause this. Hold on. You heard what this boxer said, man? What's going on? We got to be the community to do that. We have to be the community to do that. We the one that called ourselves the hardcores. We as boxing content creators, and I'm gonna say it like this. I don't give a damn if you agree or disagree. We're boxing content creators out here. We benefit from these fighters. They put their life on the line for all pure entertainment. And guess what? When you go live stream and you go live stream on their fights, where you and where some of y'all, most of y'all, I seen it. Y'all pumped down on PBC on this event with Dennis Garcia and Jose Benavidez Jr. But your ass was live streaming, and people supported that, and people send you some super chats, and people donated to the channel. But because that man is stepping inside that ring, it's your job to preserve the sport of boxing. It's your job to understand the modern day wars, modern day gladiators that put their life on the line for pure entertainment. Because at the end of the day, you're capitalizing off their blood, sweat, and tears. And if you subscribers and followers and people that don't have channels, and if you big up all these channels and give them all the clout and give them all the views and give them all of it, you know what other channels are going to do? They're going to see what this successful channel was doing, and they're going to do the same. And then this channel going to do the same. And then all these channels are going to disrespect these fighters. And all these channels don't give a damn about the sport of boxing. And it's going to devalue and discredit everything about what these fighters doing. Huh? These fighters don't deserve this. This fighter should take this. Just had to take a pay cut. We just want to see the fight. We don't want to watch pay-per-view. Fuck the pay-per-view. Fuck the zone. Fuck ESPN. Fuck Matchroom. Fuck everything. That's what we do all motherfucking day. Yeah, we go live stream, we do videos, and then we get money and we put and then people support it. And then there's boxing content creators that they know shit. I really feel like this about it, but my audience love it when I do this. So you know what? I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to say that Canelo Alvarez ain't shit. And I'm going to say that Errol Spence ain't shit. And I'm going to say that Bud Crawford ain't shit. And I'm saying Deontay Wilder ain't shit. And I'm going to say that all these shit ain't shit, because saying that this fighter ain't shit and degrading this fighter and disrespecting this fighter and you know, say all the derogatory name you can go with this fighter day in and day out on all the fight fans, all the fighters, all the event, all the promoters, you devaluing our sport.
Yeah, it's a lot of
and then y'all desperate to see the motherfucking numbers. And then y'all laugh at the numbers that it is what it is. And then y'all laugh at the pay-per-view number that is what it is. Oh, it's low. It's not $1 million pay-per-view. Well, maybe y'all support the people that devalue the sport of boxing. It's like y'all can't wait for the pay-per-view numbers to show that it was 100K. Y'all can't wait for Gervonta Tank Davis to fight and say, he ain't no real superstar. He only did 200K. Back in the days, they had $1 million. You just want to see, you just wanted to devalue, you just want to discredit, you just can't wait for the pay-per-view numbers or the viewership to look lower than what it should. But think about it. It's not low. It's y'all abandoning the sport of boxing. The numbers reflect you. It don't reflect the fighter. The fighter's still fighting. The numbers reflect the fans, the hardcore boxing fans. That's what it reflects.
Yeah, they also believe that the streaming population has grown and there's more opportunities to stream today. And there's way more streaming going on today than there ever was.
But it's the problem is not this. The problem is this also. The problem is that there's people out here that have credible channels, high traffic channels, high traffic accounts, Twitter accounts. Their voices are, you know what I'm saying, becomes more valid than other voices. So then they talk down about an event and about a fight. You do everything possible to take the value out of this fight. You do everything possible to take the value of the fighter. But then fight comes and everybody live streaming and everybody talking about the fight. And everybody got the opportunity to capitalize from that fight. That fighter that you said, look, and I went on. I don't know if you heard me in the beginning, but I went on Rick Glazier. I want his punk ass to come to punch on boxing. He better answer.
I can phone Rick Glazier up now if you want him on it.
I'm gonna go live with Mighty Max Boxing at 8:00. So he said this, right? No, I want to be in a rush. I want to have this dialogue with this man that calls himself an insider.
You want me to get him on now, or do you want to leave him?
We could do it tomorrow.
Okay, let's do it another day.
Yeah, because
I mean, look, Rick Glazier told me this, Punch. He said to me, Rap, I don't duck any debate. But I ain't going to lie to you. Last time when you came on my channel, when my channel was going last about 7 months ago, you came to debate him, and then he said, "You stop it, Punch. We don't want to talk about this now." So I'm just letting you know that he says to me he wants to debate anyone. I hope he's ready to debate.
He look what he said. He said, "Showtime Boxing tonight is a sad comedy. It's a host of shot guys that shouldn't be fighting any longer, and fighters no one wants to see. One fighter, Gary Antoine Russell, is misplaced. He's good TV. Other than Russell, this show is garbage. Watch only if you have nothing else to do." Is this supposed to be a boxing guy that capitalizes and gets money? He makes a living out of these fighters. Am I right or wrong?
He's not getting no money from Showtime.
So he's telling the people his valid voice. And look, and then he says in another tweet, I have Hall of Fame. You know, he has a power of the pen to put a fighter into the Hall of Fame. He could vote on it. These are the type of guys that I want on my sports to vote on these modern day warriors. This disrespectful motherfucker. This disrespectful guy that don't give a fuck about fighters, that disrespect fighters day in and day out. You think this guy that I want him to have the power of the pen to put people into the Hall of Fame?
Hey, look, I'm going to call this out right now. You're not saying this. I'm saying this. Even you look at Mike Coppinger. You look at Big Boy. What's Big Boy's name again? Fat Boy. What's that fat boy's name again? Dan Raphael. I met Dan Raphael, right? That guy, yeah? I'm not going to lie to you, Punch. Dan Raphael doesn't look like he's ever been in a gym apart from eating Big Macs all day. The man can't even walk. He's always fucking pushing his right leg forward like he's walking and moving. He got no balance. The man's a fat fuck. And he wants to sit there and talk about our sport. These are the people which are representing our sport, who's never even trained, never even understood the science of boxing to actually go and physically be in it. And they want to sit there and fucking represent our sport of boxing. Mike Coppinger, that bald-headed guy, needs to go and become he looks like an attorney. This guy needs to go and fucking do attorney. Go fucking fight for the single dads. You know what I mean, Punch? If I ever saw these guys, I would never in my life ever think that they got anything to do with boxing. And I'll tell you this, Punch, all of these guys, man, it's a shame. They need to put Paulie Malignaggi in there. Go put Andre Berto in there. Go put the fighters in there, bro. Go put the fighters in there so that they know what it takes for these fighters to be in the Hall of Fame. But we got people representing our sport like a white collar fucking sport. It's like behind the scenes, it's the white collar shits running it. You know what I mean?
And also these fighters also got to speak up as well. These fighters that complain about the media and complain about who's there, man, y'all could recommend. Look around. There's very credible and genuine boxing independent media. YouTube content creators that really will go and preserve U.S. fighters. Recommend them to work your shows, to work your event. So when they talking about you, you're gonna hear some real good stories about you and really pump your fights. But y'all got a bunch of haters. Y'all fighters got to step up as well. Recommend the real people that y'all want to work your events.
Man, in years to come, it needs to be people. And I'm going to start, I don't do this as much, but you're right. The people like Punch Drunk Boxing, Showbiz, even Blue Blood, even these people which are studying the game on a regular basis who want to talk about boxing, they need to put people like Rapstar. They need to put people like us who understand the sport, because I'll tell you this much, I've been in the ring. I've trained with fighters. I know the concept of boxing in that way. I'm not a fat fuck eating these Big Macs every day, just fucking sitting there talking about boxing. We need people which represent the sport, who actually look like they look, I'm sorry, yeah, but you got to have something to do with the sport to represent the sport.
You got to look apart to be a part.
Yeah, you got to have that part. You got to say that you did this, you done this, and you've done that. But all you're doing is sitting there making comments because the next man is put you up there. And it's true though, Punch. But the people which are representing our writers, the ones who are doing the Hall of Fame, most of those people, bro, they're just there and they don't I don't look at them representing the sport. I never look at them thinking they represent my sport.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, to me, that's conspiracy as well. You know, you got all these men out there, they represent in our sport, but none of them really look like they represent. They've not been in our sport that way. Yeah, journalists, everyone can educate themselves. I'm not saying anyone can't educate. Everyone, even in the subscribers today, can become a journalist. You just got to educate. But don't you need to play a physical part? Don't you need to go and live in that lifestyle, at least to understand it a bit? No? Would you agree?
Yep, I totally agree.
You know, you got to physically take practice to know how you can mentally talk about something. But when you haven't physically done anything and you got opinions about it, it kind of takes away from what even the fighters say. The fighters say these writers don't know shit. They've never been in our game. At least tell me that he's had an amateur fight or he's even trained with the fighters. They haven't. That blood, sweat, and tears. It's tough, Punch. It's a really tough business. So maybe you respect it differently. Maybe they should have had James Toney in Hall of Fame years ago. You know, but it's all about how they look at the sport, how they present the sport, how their perspective is. And we're under their perspective. When really and truly, we got a lot of people on the YTBC who can do a way better job.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
I agree 100%. We need authentic, passionate journalism. Yep. We do. Trust me,
And
man.
I don't want to sound bad, yeah, Punch, but we need multicultural journalism. We need everybody. We need our African black brothers. We need our Mexican brothers, our Latino brothers. We need our English people. We need people from Australia. We need, if we really want to represent it as you know, the board or the foundation of boxing who want to talk about it, don't you think it should be people which represent all parts of the world?
Yeah, it should be that, and people that's gonna uplift the damn sport. Yo, I'm telling you, even the people, I'm telling you that the people, and I said this about the pound for pound, and I said people need to stop worrying about that the list. People got to understand the panelist that does that list and the power of that pen that they have. You know what that grease ball dude that want the power like I'm talking about, like Rick, you want that guy is have a power to pen, and he talks about our sport this way. And fighters that's to be shot, and fighter that's no longer when you saw Daniel Garcia yesterday, do you think that was a fighter that is shot? Did that look like a fighter that should not step inside the ring anymore?
No, Danny Garcia showed me a lot of skills.
He looked sharp yesterday. Daniel Garcia looked sharp and looked good at 154. And with that type of performance and the way that Daniel Garcia looked, and he threw more punches than I've seen in a long time, he was sharp. Defense was sharp, offense was sharp. Danny Garcia now, I would love to see Danny Garcia in the fight with Jamel Charlo. I like to see Danny Garcia versus Tony Harrison. Danny Garcia versus...
Sorry, go on.
No, I'm saying like if this is a person that shot, he wouldn't even be ranked like that. He wouldn't even like be ranked in public opinion, not like really ranked, but in public opinion. Like, why is this guy knocking this guy down? Why he knocking this event down? Why are you trying to knock and devalue? People are about to get paid. These fighters are about to get paid. We ain't just talking about Danny Garcia and Jose Benavidez. We're talking about everybody in the undercard from the first fight that might not be televised, and he's getting his $1,200 or $1,000.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be an event. You're trying to say that people shouldn't make a living. It's not your place, bitch. It's not your place.
You're right, Punch. But Danny Garcia showed us yesterday he's faster at 154. He had impressive leg movement. This guy was moving around like he was acting like a little bit, you know. I'll tell you what, I was impressed. Danny Garcia was moving around effectively. And I'll tell you what, do you remember those rounds where Jose Benavidez was throwing all the lever? And Danny Garcia was just moving. He couldn't touch him. Do you remember that? Danny Garcia was ducking, like moving. He was swift. He couldn't touch Danny Garcia. It was like, I was impressed. I was going, okay, he's doing good. But look, maybe Danny Garcia at 154, maybe those fighters might not be able to catch him as much. You know? And, you know, Danny can move around. He can be in and out. But to be fair with you, he got to get his feet wet at 154. He got to fight Tony Harrison before he goes to Jamel Charlo, because
yeah, but at
he
least
got to be able to get himself into that fight.
At least he's in the conversation. King KO said Danny looks sharp against a statue. Let's keep it a buck point. That's what I mean. We all about discrediting.
No, you got to remember this, bro. That guy fights coming forward. That's his fighting style. So
I'm saying like that. Why are we always on that? Like, I'm not saying you. I'm saying King KO. Shout out to King KO.
Yeah.
Danny looks sharp against a statue. Let's keep it above point. So okay, so he's a statue. I can't give credit to Danny Silva Garcia. So we move on. Not Danny. Hey, Danny, you ain't do shit yesterday. You fought a statue. Next on. I wasn't impressed with Danny Silva Garcia versus Jose Benavidez. Okay, that's his first time in 154. He come from 135. I don't expect Danny Silva Garcia to knock out people in 154 when he was in 147. So the way that he looked in 154 tells me, okay, he moved up good in that weight. That's a good fight to then gauge him on. All right, now the next fight, he blew him out in every fucking round. So you know what? Since he was successful in every round, then he needs a better fight at 154 because he's ready for it. He's showing that he's ready for it. It's like we're not respecting the journey of fighters. We just want the fight. We just want Danny Garcia versus Jamel Charlo. He's not gonna get credit of any other fighter that he fights at 154. He's not gonna impress you with no other opponent. It gotta be Jamel Charlo. It gotta be Jamel Charlo. That's it.
And the other thing people got to
recognize, your respect that this is a career, my brothers. It's a career levels, man. Gay, you not impressed? Copa, who you not impressed? What you want this guy to do? Huh? If he would have knocked out Jose Ramirez in 2 rounds, you would have said Jose Ramirez is still a statue. I'm just saying, que este odio que tiene la gente con estos boxers. Eso me quilla a mí. That shit irks me. I don't understand. I don't understand the hardcore boxing. I don't understand the fans. It's always taking something away, always from a fighter. I'm not impressed with Gary Antoine Russell. Because I knew that the guy that he was going to fight, he was going to take him out of there. The only guy that he only got to fight Josh Taylor to impress me. He only got to fight Jose Ramirez maybe to impress me. He only got to fight Regis Prograis. That's the only thing that's going to impress me. That's it.
Now, these days, too many people are watching the sport to find negativities out the sport. They're more focused in seeing what somebody ain't doing good so they can talk about that. The kind of people which are sitting there in the sport is more interested in everything that doesn't look good or didn't do good, or instead of appreciating what's going on and what is good. You know what I'm saying? It's just simple as that.
And guys, Joker, my people don't think that I'm really. It's just my passion of the game. It's the way that I express myself. I just see too much hate, too much devalue, too much discredit. It's like none of these motherfuckers does anything right. I don't know how a bunch of people see. No one of the pay-per-view numbers is because nobody give a fuck about these fighters.
To be fair,
they're just here to laugh. They're here to joke on them. Jamel Charlo Castaño was great. It was impressive. But Joker, let's not forget this, Joker, that nobody was giving Brian Castaño when they first fought. That's why they thought that Jamel Charlo was going to be Brian Castaño very, very easily because the people didn't respect Brian Castaño. Everybody thought that Jamel Charlo undisputed was just going to fall easy on his lap. And when I was doing my analysis on Brian Castaño, I said it's going to be a hard fight. And if Jamel Charlo doesn't throw no punches, it's going to be a close-ass fight. It's going to be a tough, it's going to be a hard fight for him to win. That was my analysis. But people here, they don't know too much about Brian Castaño. Fuck about Brian. Now people be like, yo, Brian Castaño and Jamel Charlo was a good fight, the first fight and the second fight. But people didn't walk into that fight thinking that way. You know what I'm saying? Because even a hardcore boxing fan likes to look past the opponent. We did it. We all did it. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz. Everybody predicted that Gervonta Tank Davis was going to knock out Isaac Cruz, and what happened? Oh, boom, Isaac Cruz. Wow, we knew one of the major players in the lightweight division now. Even when people like to come at me with oh, what happened to your boy Tio when he fought George Cambosa? It was on me. I give credit to George Cambosa. The only motherfucker that gave credit to George Cambosa was me. The only man that says that George Cambosa was gonna be harder than the Lomachenko fight. Did I say that? Yes or no, Rapstar?
Yes.
Did I say on my channel that George Cambosa will be a harder fight for Teofimo Lopez than the Lomachenko fight? Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, what happened to you? No, I knew it was going to be a hard fight. I don't give a fuck if it was 100% TO, 50% TO. I said,
man, they don't want to hear the truth, Punch. They don't want to hear the truth.
They don't want to hear. They don't want to hear. They don't want to hear.
Forget that. Even you told me the day before the fight, you said to me, Rap, because you know I bet money on fights, don't I? Right? And it was hard. It wasn't hard, but you just was very straightforward. And you said to me, if there's ever a time that you want to bet money on and maybe make some money, put it on Cambosa's.
Tell him, Rapstar. Tell him, Rapstar.
That's a fact. You told me that the night before because you were with Teofimo Lopez, you were with the dad, but you knew if you had told the fans that Teofimo Lopez wasn't at his best and he's having some mental issues and he should be going to hospital, you felt that no, that's something that you couldn't do to Tio anyway because Tio has to be the man to do that himself, right? So you're not going to be that guy because you know Teofimo Lopez. You're not going to tell the world what you know because that's his job to tell everyone. Because you don't want to be the man to look like you're making excuses for this guy.
Facts.
Right? And I remember that very clearly. And you also said there's no point talking in front of the panel of the fans because they're not going to understand it. They're going to just say, you know, they don't care about these things, right? Yeah. So they don't care if the man wasn't in the right frame of mind or right situation in the fight. But the truth of the facts is we know the truth and we know the facts. But do they want to know the truth and do they want to know the facts? That's the question.
It's not even. And the thing is also, Reps, I understand it because I understand the fight fan. I understand that it's not in their interest to know the facts because his health or anybody else's health in boxing, like I said, this is the point of the live, is that the fans don't give a fuck about the health, whether it's mental or physical health of a fighter. It is what it is. What I want is, and the point of this live also is to share that I feel that we should all consider the health, the physical, and the mental health of a fighter to understand how they're stepping inside that ring. How, why, and how, and what may happen. We got to understand. You know what I'm saying? It's not to, oh, Ryan Garcia says he's suffering from mental illness and then call him he's a pussy and he's a ducker. He pulling out of a fight. And then he has surgery on his right hand. He's a pussy. He's ducking out of a fight. And Keith Thurman has surgery. Oh, he's ducking Earl Spence while he has surgery. Like really. And people overlooking that these guys is not physically fit to step inside that ring. And then Earl Spence is saying what he said in the Brian Custis interview. After the accident, that before the Porter fight, he said I was self-destructing. He said that before the fight. I was heading to self-destruction. Now he didn't say that. Look. He didn't say that before the accident. He said that after the accident, talking about how he felt before the accident. Now, if Earl Spence would have said, and I'm going through some shit, man, I'm self-destructing, the boxing fan would have never cared. And then Future comes, and then he goes through that accident because he was drinking and stuff like that. But in reality, maybe he didn't tell the boxing world. Maybe he told the people, around him, he's self-destructing. So let's say Danny Silva Garcia is telling you right now, and they ask him, how you doing it? He says, and look, Danny Silva Garcia didn't say that he was okay yet. He said he takes day by day. So God forbid we see Danny Silva Garcia, and it's good because I think Danny Silva Garcia is getting good positive feedback. But let's say Ryan Garcia that had the negative feedback would have gone into an accident and found out he was drinking and boom, and he died. While we was calling him, while the world of boxing is calling him pussy, bum, and all the derogatory thing that he could think of, and then he goes kill himself. Or something happens that he drank his like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Why we not there to a community that's positive and be there for them? So then when they look at and they feel negative, you know what I'm saying? They feel bad about what's going on in their life. And then they go into YouTube and then or they go into Twitter and be like, and he sees all the positive comments and positive videos and be like, yeah, man, I want to do this for the people, man. They're keeping me up, man. And I love the sport about it. They're keeping me up. But shit is fucking up in their perspective life. And then they go into the community because, of course, the YouTube, think about it. And fighters know this. YouTube is the only place that the people talk about boxing, talk about their careers. So they go on YouTube and there's this video that says, oh, he should be out. He should retire. He's no good. He's this. He's a drunk. He's this. And then it puts them down in a darker place, in a darker place. They really don't want to live. They start hating boxing as well. You don't know that these fighters really start hating. They don't understand the fans. They don't understand the fans. They don't understand that some of these fighters, it's like when I did the video of Danny Silva Garcia and I said cherry picking. That was his thing. Everybody used to call him cherry picking, Cherryville, all that. But then you look at his resume. Who the fuck did he cherry pick? Who the fuck did he cherry pick in the welterweight division? He fought Porter, Thurman, and Spence. And he a cherry picker.
And the crazy thing is, yeah, you
Lamar,
fight the best.
I'm sorry, Lamar Peterson, and then Matisse, Amir Khan, Zab Judah, Herrera, Kendall Hogg. And that guy is labeled the cherry picker. Then everybody else is a cherry pick. Everybody's a cherry pick.
Crazy. And you know what the funny thing is? These are our fighters who have done so much for the sport, yeah, win or lose. We should be getting behind the whole sport. They depend on us to lift the whole sport up. They depend on us to make us look good in front of the whole rest of the fucking world. Because ain't nobody else fighting. These fighters are fighting for us. So why the fuck are we not losing our brain and saying, you know what, win or lose, we support our people? Because let me tell you this, even the UFC guys, you look at UFC today, they fucking got more passion for their fighters, or not even passion, sorry, that's the wrong word, but a bit more integrity. They tried to speaking about Nate Diaz now, all the fans and all these people saying Nate Diaz shouldn't be fighting this guy. Nate Diaz is wrong. They shouldn't let Nate Diaz fight this guy. He's a killer. Let him just retire. You know, but Danny Garcia only lost to the best of the best. This Nate Diaz has lost about 7-8 times, 10 times. And the fucking whole UFC world are fucking saying to the world, I've got UFC friends, and they're saying to me, Rap, I don't want Nate Diaz to fight anymore. It's over, bro. Dana White's wrong. He shouldn't be fighting this killer from fucking Kazakhstan, Khabib's older brother. This man's killing everyone, and they're putting Nate Diaz in there. Nah, man, he should retire, bro. We love him and all that.
He said, look at King KO. He said, Ross Salka. He mentions that to justify that Danny Silva Garcia cherry pick. King KO, for you to mention Ross Salka, you like a guy that if and excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's Sunday. It's like if a woman, te mama el huevo, suck you off real good, and suck your fucking balls, and then you tell her, but there was one pubic hair that you didn't get wet. So I don't know. I don't know if you're really that good.
Man, it's crazy, bro.
Vete de aquí, KO, con esa vaina de que de raza. I just mentioned fucking future Hall of Fame. Tú estás hablando de ese tipo, mi hermano. sorry, mi gente. Sorry, Dio, pero alguna vez que I gotta give that type of.
Man, listen, hey, before I go, bro, fans across the pond are more fickle. Because where we're from, bro, we don't care if our fighters lose. We don't give a fuck. We're here for the fighters to support the journey, bruv. It's not about we lose. It's the man's going into the ring. You ain't going into the ring. It's the hardest sport in the world. We support these fighters, bro. Win or lose. That's the journey.
JC, he said, hey, that's the only example, man. That's the example that I could give for now. You know what I'm saying?
Man, people are mad.
Yo, like they forget it's a career, bro. you're gonna have a bunch of names that you don't know, man. It's a career, man. They have to make money as well. That's why there's 4 rounders, 6 rounders, 8 rounders, 10 rounders, regional belts, low escape trinket belts and stuff like that, and they get their money up. It's a career, guys.
Yeah, but what is
I
it
got
about?
punch trigger right now, y'all. I'm not. I'm only triggered. I'm only triggered by, you know what I'm saying, just the discredited of everything. I just mentioned, I'm just mentioning all these names. You got triggered, not me. He said, he cherry picked. What about Ivan Redkach? What about who he fought after Redkach, motherfucker? Who did he fight right after Redkach? And he's still not satisfied?
Man. You know what? Fans are fucking stupid as fuck, bruv. Fucking always talking shit. Like I said, when I hear about fans all crying when a fighter loses, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. Man, what the fuck? I've never heard so much stupid shit in my life.
Yeah, man.
Fighters in other sports. Yeah, man. Anyway, I'm gonna catch you later.
Yeah, I'm going live with Mighty Max Boxing right now, 8 o'clock. So y'all tune into Mighty Max Boxing right now, man. We're going live. Mighty Max Boxing. Tune in right now, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern time right now. So meet me over there, y'all, man.
Yeah, peace
love
out.
y'all. God bless, and on to the next, man.